Let's see, top chat. Where's the messages? Come on. Oh, okay. Looking forward to the show. Yeah, John. It seems to be connecting up. The internet here is not so good. They're going to come out and change the boxes because the neighbors all up and down, they're having absolutely zero problem. And the girl over there, she uploads stuff all the time, big files, and she says it gets done in a couple minutes. So I called the company. They did a test on the equipment from the office, and the one little box, there's a square one, well, rectangle, looks like a book standing on end, and then there's a pointy one, and that's the one there's trouble with it. So they're not gonna mail it to me, they're gonna send a guy out. And he's gonna go ahead and just replace it and then check everything, make sure that the connections are all good, and because this is ridiculous. To upload, the last video I had to upload was over an hour. After I do all my stuff, load it to the phone, and then go ahead and do my thing with it. When I go to put it up on YouTube, it's about an hour for that 10-minute, 11-minute video. But we had a nice time down in the woods. I want to get the boy to hunting pretty soon. I want to get his 22 rifle. I looked at a few. They have the Chipmunk rifle. It's what I gave my older kids. They called it a Chipmunk. And now it's a different one. Hi, buddy. Want to say hello?
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, handsome buddy? Hmm? You've been playing all day. It's cool here. Watch the tripod, okay? So I looked at it and I thought, okay, it's a pretty nice one for 149. And the guy said, hey, Todd. Hey, Sean. He said, take a look at this one. He walked way down to the end. It seems like they should have all the 22s in one spot. But I guess where something was open, they put them. And I looked at this Savage, and I was a gunsmith for years, and I thought it was pretty high quality. I didn't see if the barrel was threaded, but if it's pinned, it's pinned really solid. I mean, I got a good hold of it, seeing if I could get anything loose on it, and it's nice, and it fits him good. And the other thing, what I did on my other kids' Chipmunks, was I put an aperture peep on it. They come with just a buckhorn, and I shit canned that and put an aperture peep on for them, alignment, and this one comes with it. So it's always better to have that for more precise shooting. The front post always goes right in the center automatically, so I'm looking forward to that. So, how are all you guys doing? Pizza and wings, yum yum. Yeah, this thing still goes. Your messages pop up and go and disappear. I don't know how to get it to stay. No, I don't know how to do it. But you hearing me loud and clear, guys? Well, we got invited to a church over here, but there's a nice Chinese gentleman, and I think he was born in 83. Looks like a real young guy. Nice wife, very pleasant, and two beautiful little daughters. What grade are his daughters in?
Who?
The Chinese guy.
Grade 2 and
Grade
1.
2 and 1, okay. Two little girls, and so we went over to the church, but basically what I found was the same thing I found in California. It's progressive, I went in there, first of all, it had rock and roll mixing board thingy. What's the mixing board, Sean? I don't know what a mixing board is. But the rock and roll music was just too stinking loud. I wasn't even in the assembly area. I was outside of it. So I asked the fellow for some earplugs, and they had them. So I put them in and went in, but the bass was so booming. You couldn't talk to the person right next to you. You could not hear them. And when I'm in an area with loud noise, you could be talking right to my face. I don't hear it. That's all them years of construction. And I just can't hear, especially when like a man talks, it's, like a more bass, it just doesn't get through. So I didn't like that at all. So I went outside. I waited outside until the music quit, and then I came back in. And the guy started up the sermon, and it was not quite an hour long. And the first part was, he was telling them how much money he had and what they had to spend because they had a flood. And they had to rip all the carpet out and replace it. And he was saying what it costs and how much they're short and give us some money and blah, blah, blah. And I was sitting there in the chair thinking, this is a bunch of crap. There's insurance. These places don't go without insurance. And since it was the owner's problem, a water main broke, then it's the owner who fixes the damages. So the guy's he was just so full of crap, and he spent most of the time on that. I don't think he went to any theological school at all. He couldn't keep, he went and read a verse of course, about giving, and he couldn't keep on with it. Let me check and see what Sean's got here. Okay, okay. All right, Sean, let's see here. I don't have that. It's not on there. Yeah, I saw it. Sean, it's not on there. But I won't be going back to the church. Maddie had fun because they were in there coloring. I asked him what he talked about, and he said nothing. So, there was nothing, any biblical teachings for him. And I just thought, no, this is, so many guys when I was in California took me to church. And it was the same damn thing. These big mega churches with rock and roll bands, and I don't go to rock and roll concerts. I just don't. That's, I went to one years and years ago, and it was so loud I couldn't stand it. The bass was like this today, it actually made me feel like I was going to puke. And I don't understand that. Why do people, when they play that, it has to be so loud?
It is really loud.
Yeah, it was too loud, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Matt even said it was too loud. But it was vibrating me. It was making my chest hurt. My stomach started hurting. I got up and zipped out real quick because I thought I was going to puke, and I didn't want to puke all over the carpet. And but once I got away from the vibration, it was better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let me see who that. Okay, Sean. Yeah, that's not the church I'm going to.
I'm gonna have another piece of pizza.
Yeah, it's there for you. I made a pizza also. But, I started out when I was young going to a church. Actually, my father was Catholic, so we went there. But when I got on my own and got married, went and got baptized, and it was a nice church. Everybody just sang. There was no percussions and saxophones and guitars, 3 or 4 guitars playing, and everybody just sang. They sang up with a voice, and I kind of like it. Hey Robert, right now today it's been overcast all day. It's cool. Last night we were using the big blanket. Hey Governor, long time no hear. Yeah, my throat's a little bit funny, and but yeah, we've been doing pretty well. We had furniture that was supposed to come this month, and something happened with the escrow for these people, and they don't want to. It's not their home. It's like the motel, and they have a section there. It's like a 2-bedroom apartment. It's bigger than this, and it's fully furnished. And they live somewhere else. So they said, okay, you can have everything. We're not really taking anything other than our clothes and personal items. Everything you can have it all. So she called me up a couple weeks ago and said the escrow, it got put off until like October sometimes, and maybe even the end of October. So that's okay. We're building up the cash for it. I was gone from in the Philippines and didn't use any credit. I should have kept a credit card or two, but I just let them go. So when I came back, my credit is like almost non-existent. Well, I went to my bank that I've been banking with since 2004, and yeah, Robert, and it'll come. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, how about you run for a credit card?" And they said, "Okay." So they ran it, and they're going to be mailing it out. So I'll have a credit card from my bank in case if emergency comes up or something like that. I'll have a card. And I asked her if there was frequent flyer miles on it, and she said we still do that, but it's a different card. It's not the one they got different names for their cards. Let's see. Oh, my budget, I've been putting away $500 a month, and we spend the rent's like $983. Our electric bill came in, it was $23, so we're not worried about that. And I cook a lot. It's the electric stove. I cook quite a bit, so that was cheap. And I really don't have bills now. I have to get a car. And actually, when I was talking to my bank, they have loans also. And I said, well, I'd like to get a new one. And she said, well, if you get a new one, we can actually give you more. And I said, I saw it's a Nissan Versa, and the one with the stick shift is like 17,000. Cheapest car I could find. There was one down there that had a CVT, which I don't want anything to do with. And I sat in it. I fit in it. So, and I don't have to lean too far back or anything. The legroom was just a little bit short, but I wasn't banging my shins on anything. So I said, would I be able to get 16 or 17? And she said, well, we just ran your credit. You should have no problem. And what we'll do is we'll like mail you a check. And that's the way that works. So maybe we can get it. The only problem is finding the stick shift. Little 1800 cc. We just need something to get around because this winter is coming. And now the guy said he wants, there's, whether you got a loan or not, he wants a down payment to get it. And I said, well, I had some folks here, a couple guys. Let's see, what's your target amount? I don't get what you mean target amount on my budget. I put 500 away, and then I buy food, and I make sure the rent's paid. I do the rent first, $983, and then I go to the grocery store and I fill the freezer in the bottom, and then we just got weekly. Usually weekly runs about $50-$60, and I don't know, a couple thousand, 2,400, something like that, is what we. I guess that would be called the budget. But like I say, I'm putting 500 away a month, and hopefully, the guy said the 24s are coming out, and they're a couple hundred more. I said they're like 200 more than that. I said, well, maybe you can find me a 2023, even a better deal. And he said, look, if you get a stripped with a stick, we got nothing to work with. He says, you'll pay what's on the sticker, and that's about it. Nice guy. I mean, he was just being real. And I understand that. They always have something to work with when it comes to options and all that. But it's already got everything. It does have crank windows, and you got to check all that stuff. So that's good enough. Going. So hopefully we can get enough of the down payment. I asked him how much they're going to want, and he said, well, they're going to have to. He's going to have to talk to his boss, but he wants money. They're just not going to bring one here from another dealer. He said, I'm not even going to look. He says, when you come down and give us a couple $1,000 and give it to me towards that car, then we're going to go ahead and get you one in. And it's the closest Nissan dealer around. It took us, I don't know how long it took us. It was about, on the bike, just going easy. We took the bike trail most of the way. And it was about 35 minutes, I think, what we timed it at. So that wasn't too bad. So, we could get that there. But what we're going to have to do is probably have to call my brother to get a ride. But it seems to me like it's going to be January. I hope we don't get, too much heavy snow or anything. I still gotta get Maddie some boots. And, once I get the boots for him, I got a pair of boots. We both got nice jackets now. We actually wore them yesterday. We went out in the evening right before dark, and we went over to this Catholic church, and we played on, there's a big field. It's got a football field / soccer field. And there's a big opening in the gate in the back. Front's all locked up. So we went through and he was playing on the slides, got his butt wet.
Papa, I'm gonna save 2 big pieces for you.
Okay, you want to tell him how you got your butt wet yesterday?
I went on the slide.
Yeah, he went on the slide right off the bat and got his butt soaked. Well, he tried to slide off though, so that was good. But he had monkey bars he was climbing through, and swing. He knows how to get the swing going real good now, and he loves that stuff. So we pitted around. Next time we go, we're going to bring the kickball. We got more room than around here, because we got to stay away from cars and windows and stuff. And this way, plus the grass is a little shorter over there. It's very well kept. This grass gets a little bit shaggy, lots of branches in it and stuff. So, but I got to keep him busy. I'm not seeing any. Oh yeah, sorry guys, it's not even popping up now. No, Robert, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I'm out of there. It wasn't Hyundai, it was a Nissan. Yeah, walking onion, that's my pensions. It's just it's a few bucks short of that, but pretty much. Yeah, if I would have worked a little bit longer out in California, it would have almost doubled. I just didn't stay long enough. And I went to the Philippines, and if I'd have stayed another 5 years, I would have doubled. I would have absolutely doubled my pension. So that would have been fantastic, with the Social Security and that. We got that. I got a little bit of money coming for Maddie. But it's going to the Philippines to support the wife and the other kids, so they're getting that, and that's just I can't leave them in the lurch. I gotta provide for them there. I would be getting another, it would have been actually over $4,000 coming in. So, but it's really sad the way. My wife, she's hot and cold, and I seriously doubt I'll ever see the other kids here again. I doubt I'll ever see them. So, and the sad thing is, Dorothy's already just speaking in Tagalog to Maddie. They're going to lose her English. All the years I worked on her English, teaching her words, what they meant, slang, different things like that. I don't blame the teachers and the people in the Philippines for having bad English, because they've not been taught by somebody in America. They've been taught by another Filipino. I knew a Filipino, this was thick and this was thin, and they get him and her wrong all the time. That's very common when they speak English. And then they got this thing where they're shy. I'm shy. Shut up. They don't want to talk to you because they're shy. They don't want to show you that their English is bad. So what they'll do is, I quit going to parties in the Philippines. I just wouldn't go. People said, oh, but you should come over to ours. We won't do that to you. And they all do it. You go there and you're the odd man out. You don't know Tagalog. You're going to sit there somewhere in a corner. You can't watch a TV or anything because they'll put it on some Tagalog channel. And they're all yakking Tagalog. And I just quit going. I'm not going to any of these places anymore. My wife wanted to go here, wanted to go there. What for me? I don't understand a word they're saying. So it wasn't good. I gotta keep checking this. Okay. I'll tell you what though, Walking Onion. Oh, not Walking Onion. Hold on, where'd it go? Mr. Somebody. I had two. They weren't Hyundais, they were Kias, which is the same company. It's like Ford Mercury or Ford Lincoln. And I had, when I first got to California, I went into that, there's my thing going out again. Sorry, guys. But I asked him, what's your cheapest car on the lot? So he grabbed some keys and he walked I mean, this place is huge. I don't know how many, 50 acres of cars, I think. And we went all the way to the back. There was this little silver Kia. And he's looking at the thing and he says, well, it has absolutely nothing. No radio, nothing. Little four on the floor, and you put a fifth under the seat. But so I bought it for like $6,100 cash, and I ran the piss out of that thing. I mean, I ran the hell out of that car. I went through the whole process of going through, and the maintenance manager said, there's a trick to these cars. Don't baby them. He says, if you baby them, it's not going to last. He says, get it hot, keep it hot, and drive it. He goes, you won't even be speeding it by flooring it all the time. But it was a great car. And then after that, I bought a Sedonia van, and that was another just fantastic car. But I don't know how they are long term. But I've seen the same year cars running around here. I've seen 3 or 4 of that little Kia, even the same color as mine, and they're driving it. So they seem to be a pretty good car. The motors in them, I had 98,000 miles on mine. It never used a drop of oil. The radiator fluid was good. I did change it at 50. I changed the gearbox fluid, and I put some of that water wetter. It never overheated or anything, but in California, I was going to the desert a lot, so. Oh, well. One of these days, there's going to be some folks we meet. I know Paulie was talking to coming to visit, and then my buddy, I'm trying to think of what he calls himself on his YouTube channel. I can't think of it, but he's from Arkansas. He's talking about coming up for a visit after he had some problems, and he's getting healed up. He was going to go to the Philippines, and he's got some medical conditions, and I was telling him, buddy, you don't want to go there. One thing about the Philippines, we lived 2 kilometers from a hospital, and a decent hospital. It might take you 2 hours to get there. I'm serious. Or if you call an ambulance, because they got to come to you, and then the ambulance is just the back of a truck, a little L300, and you're going to be thrown in there, and the 2 guys that are there, they're not orderlies, but maybe janitors, just to go get you. So most people they throw you in a tricycle, and the tricycle will get you there as fast as you can. But the way the traffic is, when you're driving down my road, you can't pass because the people will come into your lane and just block everything. And then you got another 10 minutes of just blockage where you're not moving an inch. Nothing. So, it's not good. If you got any health problems, unless you're going to be right next to the hospital in Manila, or a big hospital that's decent, I wouldn't go. Because if you've got you have a heart attack or a stroke, you can forget any kind of golden hour. Oh, they're going to charge you. Once they see a foreigner, they're going to charge you. I did 3 C-sections for my wife. She wanted to go to I called them. They call them a lying-in clinic. I call them a dying-in clinic. We actually, after I was there I was there a couple of years, and my wife's friend was going to have a baby, and it was a couple of days later. We were going to the girl's furniture, and she had her in the box and the little brand new baby in the box. She died at a dying-in clinic. So I said, you're not going to one of those. You're going to a regular hospital. And we had good people there. The doctor, female doctor, she was top notch. She did give us a break. She wasn't, they weren't trying to gouge me too bad. But be careful. Excuse me. Be careful, because they will try to gouge you. Hey, Maddie.
Huh?
Could you pour me a glass of water from the jug?
Okay.
We've been buying nothing but distilled water here. That's what we drink. We got to cook with it too, and it's 2 gallons is $1.79. But I'll tell you one thing that went real funny. We went up to
You're in a cup?
just a regular glass cup,
Oh.
one of the mason jars. But we spent $9, and it was like 74 cents tax, just from going up to the dollar store and getting a few little things in the store. You know, I got a knife sharpener, just one of them little pull-through knife sharpeners, and I forget what else I got. I got a couple little things for the kitchen. We're getting the kitchen all set up. You know, it's looking pretty good. Sorry, I got to keep going back. Thank you, buddy. There's our glasses. There's to you, just like down south. Of course, it ain't water in there. But we're looking forward. I've been looking up for hunting licenses and stuff like that. Next month we'll be able to take care of that. I got my ID coming. They did a thing here in Ohio. I went to the motor vehicle place, and just to get the ID, because I can't get anybody to let me use their car to do the driver's test. I mean, it's just the way it goes. So I said, always filling up. You know something? Go away. I don't do that kind of shit. Yeah, the sales tax is high. That's for sure. Yeah, hey Dave Strickman. Let's see, where are you at? Bye. We don't do that here. You know, I don't do that. I never have. I was married. I don't fool around. I don't do anything like that. And I don't even like people who do. I just always shied away from them. You know, if you got a wife, stick with her. But yeah, I did like working at the call center though. It was pretty good. I worked there for just short of 6 years. It was not a bad place, and I got to travel too. I got to travel around the Philippines. They sent me to Davao and Negros, bunch of different places I got to go to, and you know, it wasn't bad. And then helping these kids with their English, because you lay out a sentence on the phone, and one word isn't understood, it could change the whole meaning of the sentence. Wallace Big Shot Trails. I don't know I don't know that person at all. Big Shot, I have no idea. Oh, Ricky Drama, that's his shtick. You know, I don't do that. And where the heck would you do it at? I'm in a call center. I got cameras everywhere. Where are you gonna go to do something like that? How silly is that? You know, that's just absolutely ridiculous. If you want to believe stuff like that, no. If you want to believe stuff like that, be my guest, but go somewhere else, please. I don't do that here. You know, I'm a Christian. I've never cheated on either one of my wives. And if you're working and you leave the call center, you're fired. You got to sign in and out. There's security guards everywhere. You can't just walk out of a call center. It has to be your time to go, and you have to check out. You know, you can go for lunch, but I don't know anything about that, guys. I always pack the lunch. I learned real quick too, though, you don't bring durian for lunch there. They got mad at me. They were running around with spray bottles of perfume stuff, spraying it all over. They said, "Oh, that stuff really stinks." But I don't know. It smells good to me. I love it. I remember when I was in Davao, there was, let me see, what's that say? There was a place there for like 180 pesos. I could get a 3.5 pound durian. And I told the guy, pick me a real good one. You know, that one. And he knew, this guy was the durian king. He knew which durian were what. And I said, remember when I was eating that small one the one day? He goes, yeah, that was this kind. And I says, I sure would like to have one of those again. He goes, okay. He cut that thing open for me, and I sat there on the curb and ate that whole damn thing. I can't get enough of them. They're like a pudding. They're a real good pudding. And some people even take the seeds and cook them. I've also seen them cook avocado seeds. They use that. And actually that was kind of good. It's kind of like hummus type thing that they make with the avocado seeds, and it was pretty good. The only thing I didn't like about the food in the Philippines was all the salt and soy sauce and all that. Hey Todd, how you doing? I really like that salty. Like Maddie and I, we put salt on our avocados when we're eating them. Filipinos put sugar. They put sugar on everything. First time I got there, they said, "Oh, you want some spaghetti?" And I seen those the cheapest Filipino hot dog. They're about so big around. If you do cook them, they blow up and then they shrivel up terribly. They look like a piece of like a Slim Jim. But when you cut them and you look at them, they're all like a dead gray meat inside, and there's all this dye on them. And they put that in the spaghetti and sugar. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna eat some of this. Took a bite, and I mean, it was absolutely miserable. You know, I didn't want to be. I had to spit it out. But they take these avocados, Sean, and they smash them. They cook them a little bit first, and then they smash them down. They got a little. I've seen people with a little press where they smash them through really good, and it gets that little skin off. You know, once they're cooked, it gets that skin off, and then they smash it down with a fork in a pan, and they put their stuff in there, garlic. I forget what else they put. They had some different spices, and then they bake it. And I could eat a whole tray of that. I thought it was pretty good. It's kind of like hummus. It's the Filipino version of hummus, I think. But I liked it. You know, there's a lot of good foods that they have over there, but there's a lot that are not good. You know, it's so full of sugar. And then the other thing they do, the thing that kills me, is they take a banana, which is sweet in the first place. The bananas over there are absolutely. We've been getting bananas here. Yeah, they're pretty good. Maddie likes them. We eat them, and he's amazed that they're that long, and they're okay. But the Filipino bananas, those little tiny ones, pepinos or whatever they call them, those are fantastic. I really like those. The kids, we used to buy a big stalk, and the kids would go through them in a day or two. But they take them and then they fry them in like oil. What's this say? See, it keeps this. You can't deny good. Well, you know what I don't like about a lot of their stuff is how much soy sauce they put in there, and that's definitely messes with your hormones and your testosterone and all that. I didn't allow my wife to use soy sauce on the boys' food. You know, if you start reading about it, all the soy, that's why they like to sell them soy lattes and give them to the boys. You know, and they get a little light in the loafers. So, you know, I'm not for that at all. But there's some good food. My wife, we used to do the like pot roast, and the thing she introduced me was putting the ginger in there and the cabbage. We always had it, onions, carrots, potatoes, and pepper, and then cook it. I still want to get a pressure cooker here, you know, just to do the meat because it tenderizes it. We were going to start a tradition of Sunday of having, you know, a pot roast every Sunday, big chuck roast. And Maddie was like, "Oh, you know, can we have a pizza instead today?" And I said, "Well, we're going to eat the pot roast tomorrow because she's thawed." And she's going, "Yeah, that's okay. That's good." And but I went ahead and cooked him up pizza. He was wanting that, and he ate everything today. Ate breakfast, ate lunch. He's not that picky of an eater. There's some things he just won't touch. The thing that bugs me. No, Todd, I don't have a crock pot yet. I'd love to have one for when I make chili. All right, Sean. Yeah, I used to in the morning I would put all my stuff in the crock pot, the ground beef, the beans, all that stuff, put the lid on it, turn it on, and just boogie to work. And by the time I got home, she was done. Let it cook all day, and loved chili. The kids, that was a surprise to me. My buddy Tom sent us, he was always sending us stuff. My buddy Tom from California. And every, I don't know, 6 months or something, he was sending us a big old box of something, shoes. He sent me a lot of shoes. And that was really nice. But I am seeing at the stores, a lot of the stores now, Walmart, I was surprised, you can get 14s, and there's plenty of them in there. I don't take a triple wide, I just take a single wide, but I can't wear a narrow. It just bothers my feet too much. Maddie's got the same trouble. We found shoes in his size, and the only ones he liked that didn't bother his feet, they were too long. He had about this much off over the end. I said, "Bud, we just got to find you some wide ones like me." So the girl at the Walmart said there'll be more. There's other stores. I would love to go to Ross and just find him even some regular shoes and stuff, but because he's just got 2 pair of tennis shoes and some flippers. But man, is that a lot? For me, it's too far. It's even on the bike, we would blow an entire day and then probably get stuck in the rain or something. Because here right now, it just starts raining. It's overcast, 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 and all of a sudden, boom, you're in the rain. So. Yeah, Robert, I got out too. I don't seem to be having any big medical issues, but I just never felt good all the time I was there. Right now I got a pinched nerve right in between my shoulder blades. It's got my neck sore. My ears started ringing again, and I don't have a chiropractor to go to. No, I haven't, Mr. Somebody. I haven't done that yet. I have to have my Ohio State ID card, which they said could take 3 weeks, so we're looking at a couple more weeks yet. But there I always felt bad. I would get stomach problems and, all kinds of things that were bugging me. And then, I come here and just about all of it went away. Now, I've been riding the bike. We've been going on super long walks. And I'm not getting real sore from that. I rode the bike 15.7 miles by myself the one day, and then Maddie and I went out and did almost a 10-mile ride back and forth. And then another day we did, two different days, we did 5 mile on the bike. And I love this tandem bike. We have to fix it though, as soon as, and Jim, you ever have, what is this? Did you ever have that bird that is buried? Sometimes when you write stuff, Benjamin, it goes over my head. I'm sorry, it does. And Sean, I'm telling you what, I feel a ton better. Starting my getting ready for Christmas, getting my Santa Claus beard going. Maddie wanted me to grow up for Christmas. So okay, buddy. But he is being, my goodness, since he's been here, I'm having like zero trouble with him. Nothing. He's happy. He's keeping me moving. He wants to go out and throw a football or a kickball or a frisbee. We go shoot his BB gun. Now there's a shooting range not too far from here. It's not expensive at all to shoot. It's just I got to get permission to let him shoot. He needs to learn. I'm going to start him off at 25 yards with the 22. When we pick up the rifle, they had some really nice Peltor earmuffs that were his size, just for kids. And I'm like, well, they're selling these for kids. Well, why does the shooting range give you a problem? Kids got to learn too. And I don't want to go somewhere and then somebody sees me shooting somewhere and the cops come or anything like that. Hi, Karina. How you doing? Let's see. But the only thing I'm having right now is this thing in my back. It's even got my sternum hurting. I used to get the kids just to walk on it, especially Dorothy. She stays right off the spine to the side and she'll walk and crack it, and I'm up and I'm done. Well, it was hurting up in the front here too, the sternum. It's coming all the way around the ribs. And then when I was laying on my belly, I said, Maddie, come walk on this. And I'm telling you what, it hurt. It hurt. I even tried to put pillows under my shoulder to keep my hitting the ground, but we couldn't get it cracked. I got the medical card. I got Maddie's medical card. But here we go with chiropractor again. You know, nothing local that I found. It's all pretty far. And then most of these guys here, instead of just fixing you, they want you to come back every week, blah, blah, blah. You know, fix it and be done with it. You know, don't soak us. Don't soak the insurance company for money. You know, I've got that, all that's covered. You know, the only copays I have are prescriptions, and guess what? I don't trust the doctor to give me a prescription. He's going to give me a petrochemical that's going to cause other problems. I remember my one uncle, they started putting him on a medicine, and then he wasn't feeling good, so they put him on another one. And before he passed away, I went up to visit him. He had 11 different pills, and he had all the times he had to take them and how many times a day. And he had to go to the can, and he didn't want to go on the one in the bed, so he was a big guy, and I helped him up to get to the bathroom, and I'm not kidding you, the guy was pooping sand. You know, it looked like gray sand. I mean, they just had him so screwed up, and that was when I started. You know, I'm not trusting medical doctors. They don't look beyond their field. You know, there's lots of herbologists and things like that. They can get you fixed up. Wes helped me out when I was getting bad muscle strains. I dislocated my shoulder, and I had a lot of trouble with that years back in the Philippines. And he gave me some of that, it's made out of a plant leaf. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I get to where I'm in a little trouble. I take 4 or 5 of those, and I'll tell you what, that stuff works. Hey, Maddie, can you go in the medicine chest and get that medicine on the left cabinet in the bottom? It's like in a big plastic jar. Okay, are you pooping? Okay, well, don't be in a hurry. He's going really good. That's a plus. Pretty much after he eats, he's got to go within a half hour or so, and that's his system's running normal. I usually keep an eye on that. Same way with the pee, make sure he's not dehydrated. But we've been going through, him and I, not including what we use on the food, we've been going through about 1.5 gallons of water a day. I give him a quart to take to school, and he pretty much drinks it up. I bought him a real nice Thermos brand thermos. It's probably 24 ounce. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any military cards like that. And the way my card worked in the Philippines, after I retired, if you were just going on a vacation, it would work, but no hospitals want to take it. They don't want it. So what you have to do is you have to pay the full amount, and then take the bill and mail it in, and then 6 months later, you get it. And sometimes, the way the mail is in the Philippines, if you live over here, that letter will sit for 2-3 months before more people get mail, and then they'll come over and deliver the mail. But if there's just one person, they won't go over there. You know, they won't deliver it. It's not like the U.S. here. So here the mail's fast. I got packages from my one buddy from the middle of the country, and it was here like in a couple days. I get letters from my insurance, and they have a date on them because they use, you know, a metering machine. They have a metering machine in the office that puts a little red thing on there, and it has the date. It's like they mail it. It's coming out of Missouri. It's here the next day. Philippines, that far? A couple months, or they'll lose it. They do that quite a bit. So the mail over in the Philippines, there's a lot of things. That's their own country. That's the way they do it. A lot of places don't take credit cards. You have to go to the big malls to use them. Most of the time, The ATM machines were, at least where I lived. I don't know about anywhere else because I've had people say, oh no, it works fine everywhere I went. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're in Dumaguete, great. Where I was at, I used to go in front of my bank in the Philippines. I'd go up there 4 or 5 days in a row. It was out of order. And then you go to all the other ones. I'd have to drive all around town. There's 3 other ones, and I'd drive real far to get it on the bike or the tricycle, and they were all down. And then when you go to use another one and you go in the bank and say, hey, look, your machines have been down for 5 days. Give me the $2.50 they charged me for using my debit card. And they don't let you take more than 10,000 out. So you got to do, like for me, like if I was paying certain bills, might have to take 20 out, right? Because some places they don't, these little bazaars, you might call them, they don't take any card. You got to have cash. And a lot of the fruit markets and stuff, you ain't getting nothing there. You have to have cash. So you go to take 20,000 out, they charge you twice. So it's $5 now. That's the charge from that ATM, and then your bank charges you. And I go back and say, hey, come on, your stuff is closed. Well, why didn't you come inside? Okay, so I'm going to go inside and wait a minimum of an hour and a half. Minimum. That's the fastest I ever got through my bank. And the funny thing, they did it this happened to me at a couple banks. When lunchtimes come, they don't leave a teller there. They all leave. You never go at lunchtime. Instead of maybe one of them leaving for lunch, and then a half an hour later another one goes to lunch, and then the third one goes to lunch after that. Nope, all 3 of them will leave and just put closed on their thing and they leave. And Filipinos are not one for coming back after the half hour. They'll come back 45, 50 minutes later. Yeah, Benjamin, the call centers are, they're big everywhere. There's tons of them. India had all the call centers, but there was such theft and corruption, it went to the Philippines. Philippines English is somewhat better, but it's tough. You know, I started out as an agent, and it's tough. Not for me, because I spoke English and understood every word they had, but these kids wouldn't understand, and they just keep going, and people get pissed off. You know, they want to be heard, and they want their issue resolved now. You know, that's the American way. Get her done. But in the Philippines, it's not like that, guys. We'll take care of it tomorrow. You know, hey, no big deal. You know, that's the culture. You show up for work. You know, I see all the time when they were building around my place, some of these guys, you know, you'd see the jeepney coming, and it would let them off a little bit before 7, and they start working at 7. And you see guys walking in at 9, 10, 10:30, 11. You know, with their boots, you know, or they're working in tongs and all this stuff. All right, Robert, you take care. But I'll tell you what, we're doing great here. I'm really pleasantly surprised at how well the boy's doing. He loves it here. Hey, Maddie, what you doing? Okay, he's still busy. But I asked him, I said, you want to go back to the Philippines? He's like, no. I mean, it's like immediate no. Yeah, Ben, Jimmy. Well, Sean, yeah, we're getting ready. I got my son a real nice Carhartt. I don't know how long it'll fit him, maybe a couple years, because, you know, he's growing, but he didn't want the one that was a little bit bigger. I said, that gives you a little bit of breathing room in there, you know, and then you could layer. And nope, so he wanted the one that fit him just right. And okay, you know, so I got him a good Carhartt jacket. I got him 4 pairs of gloves. Well, he had 1 pair, and I bought a 3-pack. I got him some real nice, like, flannel shirts, long sleeve flannel shirts, and, you know, we'll layer, you know, and I haven't got his boots yet, so I wish I could get over to Ross. You know, it's just so damn far for us, and he has to come, so it's only going to be on a weekend, and we got to take the bike. We've tried to use the bus here. We were sitting on the main drag. We were going to take the bus, and I think it's bus 67 we were gonna ride in. So we're sitting in the bus stop. Two buses, number 67 buses, going right where we wanted to go. Never even slowed down. I'm waving at them, hey, and they just kept right on going, and the bus was empty. The second one had like one person in it. So I'm not getting the thing there. No, Todd, you know something? I bought some jasmine rice in a rice cooker, and since we've been here, since the 14th of August, he doesn't want anything to do with it. He said, no, I don't want any. He loves French fries, and I don't buy a bag of French fries at the store. I just buy some nice potatoes, and then I peel them and I cut them up. And he likes the fat French fries, and I cook them in ghee in a frying pan. Doesn't use much of the ghee. Salt them, and he'll suck up, two big sized Idaho potatoes. He'll suck them up. He loves that. Dorothy was the big one for the mashed potatoes, and I couldn't find, where we used to live, I couldn't find sour cream. I always put a bunch of sour cream in the mashed potatoes and butter. Couldn't find it, so one day I got the bright idea, well, you know what, I'm gonna throw in a clump of cream cheese. And I smashed it all up, threw in the butter, and my daughter Dorothy, she'd clean up all of it, just like Maddie with the French fries. She loves it. She just eats the heck out of it. So I'm like, okay. Well, then finally, after years, there you go, Sean. Finally, after years, I found sour cream when we moved to Lipa. They have it at the S&R, which is to me, that was a good store to go to. A little bit more expensive, but you can find a lot of stuff. So I got the sour cream. Dorothy wouldn't eat it. She didn't like it. So I ate them all. So I had to get her the cream cheese again. And the cream cheese, it's not expensive there. Same way with the butter. Now I bought Amish butter and 2.5, or was it kilo brick, 2.5 pounds or whatever. Two of them, it's like $18. But I make a big old pile of ghee that lasts me, instead of me making it every week, I make it once a month now. And it lasted us well over a month. So we've been using that. I don't use oils at all. I do have some coconut oil because it doesn't go rancid. I use that to treat the cast iron. And then I bought this really nice iron wok. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Yeah, let me see, who is that now? Oh, Larry P. Okay, Larry, you know what? It worked for him last time. They're gonna go with the same plan. They're not gonna change anything. They're just gonna keep going with the same plan. Worked for them before, and I don't care what anyone else says. That last time was SOLD. I think that's the right way, maybe this way. And I don't care. I got to watch what I do. I actually had my, all of my Gmail accounts were shut off for 3 days. I went to get in, I was logged out. It would not let me log back in. It wouldn't take my password. It wouldn't do nothing. They had before that, they were saying one of your comments, and it just kept popping up every time. Boom, then they shut it off, logged me out. And then, of course, the email I had was a Gmail, so I can't get into Gmail to see the code. And the number I had was the number from the Philippines, which I have the SIM card, but it said SmartWorks here, but no, it doesn't. So don't trust that. So finally, I had to put in a new email, and they said, oh, in 48 hours, we're gonna blah, blah, blah. Well, it came back. The dang thing come back, and I changed the phone number, I changed the email so that I could get to it. But what a royal pain that was. Okay, let's see what we got here. C-band jam there. They buried it in the ground in the egg. I won't bother you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know something, they don't take care of their pets. I've seen people that get a dog that the little puppies are so full of worms and they do nothing. Uh, it's really something to see a 5 or 6 year old dog there. They'll get mange, nobody does anything about it. They get real sickly. He's a dog. They get sick.
Papa, what do I need to get again?
That little one, open up the left hand of the medicine chest and look on the way bottom. There's that big one with the flower on it. Bring that out. I'm going to show you that stuff.
Arnica?
Yeah, bring it out. Let me see it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, Wes gave me Arnica.
Arnica.
Maddie knew what that was.
Yeah.
Arnica, huh? You knew how to read it. You can put that back. That stuff works good. But we did have a fella here. He was walking his bulldog, and right in the middle of the sidewalk, the thing took a crap right in front of me. And I said, "Hey, aren't you going to pick that up? Because the doors have dog bags. You pull the bag out, and most everybody picks up their poo-poo, for their dog. And there's dogs here. There's a lot of them, big dogs. And this thing laid out a half a pound turd. And they got him on the camera, and they give him fines. They get a $50 fine for that. But I said, "Hey, aren't you going to pick that up?" And he wouldn't even look at me, and just away he went. And then we went and swam a little bit, and when we came back out, some kids, they already had stepped in it, tracked it all into the place because it was not too far from the door. And it's like, oh, come on, guy. They got the stores here sell pooper scoopers. The only one they have is like the grabber, like the old, the one that digs the dirt, the big construction piece, and it grabs it like that. And those are kind of a little bit crappy. But they have, the one I used to have when I lived here it was a dustpan. It looked like a dustpan, a small one. And then you push that lever and it pops down. And what I used to do is when the dog was pooping, I just stuck it right underneath their butt. And they poop right in that, and then when you let go, it folds up and closes, and then you just take it and dump it, and rinse it off. So. Well, Larry, I did it. I did it at 52. I love my children, but look what happened. Look what happened to me. And there's a lot of, ever since I started letting people know what was going on, I was getting a lot of replies that same thing happened to them. They're these girls. Now, my wife was 17 years younger than me, and she's not here to defend herself, but I won't say too much. But needless to say, it just wasn't good. It just was not good. So, it can happen, and happens to a lot of people. Bring them here. I know a lot of guys that brought them here, and everything's fine. I know a lot of guys that are married to Filipinas, and they get into Western culture. And I actually knew a family that worked. They were working in, I think it was Belgium, and they worked there for 30 years. Then they went back to the Philippines, built this big, beautiful place. They had tons of money, and their boss used to send them home every year, paid for round trip tickets for them and everything, the whole family. And they were here for about 6 months and said, "Screw this place. Filipinos, screw this." The kids were like, "Forget it. They were born in Belgium. And they were like, "Screw this. I'm not living in this, this place." And they went back. They sold the new house they built, and they went back. They said, "Hell with this." And that happens more. No, my wife wouldn't come to the thing now. She tells my daughter, "Oh, he's your favorite, and he didn't want you." But what happened was, I couldn't get her. If I could have took her the same time I took Maddie, I would have. I'd have just brought her. They're U.S. citizens, and I'd like to have them here. I think they have a better chance, a lot better chance here than they got in the Philippines. They'll do all right. I'm not worried about that, but it's a shame they're starting to be alienated from me. That one was the one I had just, what are you going to do? you know, what are you gonna do? But I hope things go well for him. You know, I miss him. You know, I wish I could have him here with me. Hey, Babs, greetings. But yeah, I put out a lot of videos. The only time I don't is when you know, stuff happens. You know what I mean? And I put it on at 6. I used to do it at 6 in the morning for these lives, but now I'm doing it at 6. That's the time most people are watching. I think last time I had, you know, all, coming in and out. It shows you at the end of the thing is 281 or something. So that was cool. You know, a lot of you guys that come on here, you watch the channel. I don't know if you're subscribed or not, but I haven't seen you before. You know, and it's good. I'm glad I'm starting to see new names. I still think they're suppressing my account. They won't give me the YouTube money, but I went on YouTube and watched some vlogs, and the way it's going to happen is I started another channel. It's called Expat Returns, and then what's going to happen is back again. Absolutely sucks. I had crap internet in the Philippines, and I got crap internet here. And the bad thing is, most of the folks in here, there's 385 apartments in this complex. I heard from the one girl there that 90% of them have this internet. And I asked her, hey, how's your internet work? Does it cut off all the time? Oh, no, it works fine. Do you upload anything? And I hit the one girl, she says, yeah, I have to upload files. I work over the internet, and I have to upload files all the time, and some of them are pretty big. And I says, how long does it take you? She says, oh, a couple minutes. A 10-minute video, 10-minute 1080p vlog for me takes an hour, and if I switch it over to 4K, it takes 2.5, 3. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So here I am again, you know, with crap. But they're sending a guy out this week. He's going to call before he gets here. I see their trucks all the time going through here, and he's going to check. He wants to check the whole thing back to the junction box. He's going to check the wires, and if he has to re-pull it, he said, I'm going to just get you a new line in, whatever. Talked to him already, and they think it's this one little tower that's bad. So, you know, we'll get that fixed up. Huh, buddy? Yeah, but he's got a phone, and that I let him use here. There's no SIM card for it, but he can use it through the Wi-Fi instead of his school computer. And another thing that happened to him too, he did good on his testing for everything but the reading. And you know, in his school in the Philippines, all the reading's in Tagalog. So he didn't get a whole lot of English. I actually couldn't help him with the paper unless they were reading me what the question was. You know, it's just the way it went. So they decided they're going to put him back a grade, and I was all for it. But the girl called me up and said, you know, we want your opinion. And I said, well, my opinion is you're the educator. I'm not. If you think he needs to go back, put him back. But we want your opinion. Well, you called me with the concern that it's gonna not be good for him. Why? Put him back. That's my opinion. You know, these women at the schools. It's, you know, it's they just want to keep doing this to you, and you know, put him back. So Monday he goes back. He goes back a grade, which is fine with me. They're going to also put him in like a remedial reading. That'll be a separate time, and he needs the help. You know, he needs the help, and they need to send stuff home that I can read to him. We go down to the store, but there's none of the, you know, Run Joe, Run Jack, Run, and you know, I don't find any of those. You see lots of coloring books and, you know, the games where you got to find the word and all this kind of stuff. Now we do some of them. He has a book of that, and he does really good on that. And just like the Arnica, he was able to read that. He knew what that was called. I take him every time we go somewhere and we see a street sign or something. I say, hey, come on, what's that? And then I say, bust it in half, you know, and then he'll figure out the first part of it, and then the second part, and I said, just put them together. And he gets it. We do all the street signs, you name it. You know, I'm working with him, but I'm not going to sit in here and get him frustrated because he's got itchy legs. He's got to be up and going all the time. And so that's the way I do it. So, and I still think all the schools, when I was young, you had wood shop, metal shop. You don't have any of that stuff. Not everybody's set up to go to college. They're just not. So I don't get why they take this out and then recess. They need to go out and play, especially boys. They need to run that energy off. Okay, we got, what?
Tell him that might run the whole building today.
Yeah, I know, he was running around the building today. All right, let me go back here. Okay. Todd, she kept Shaky, and Shaky follows the kids wherever they go. She's a snake killer. She goes after anything small. She's lightning fast. Snake tries to get her. No, ain't gonna happen. So, hang on, I gotta keep scrolling this up. Yeah, I know, Larry, I remember. Oh, Todd, right now, he turned into a whole different kid. He was getting, like, I was watching out the window one day. Remember when, before we left, Mumu whacked you with the stick?
Yeah.
He whacked him with the stick and then ran to Mommy and cried. And what happened? She came out and wailed on Maddie. She gave you the hell of a whipping, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's over there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, stop that. I had to get in between them. Stop it. I was watching it. Mumu whacked him. He don't want to talk to Mumu. Those two just, he don't. And, Mumu, he'll start throwing his crybaby thing. I always said, even when he was little, he's going to be one of two things. He's either going to be a general or he's going to be in prison, because he's really something. But he starts to connive and do stuff that I was not liking, and it's just not good. But he was the protected one from Mom. And me, I was always one when they're fighting like that. My mother, my brother would pick him when it was just my brother and I. We had no problem, none. But then when his friends would come around, he'd start pushing me around, push me in the mud. I got in trouble for my school clothes getting dirty and all kinds of trouble. And one day I just had enough, and I fixed him good. I fixed him real good, and it stopped. And I remember we were taking him to the hospital. I forget how many stitches. He's still got it really bad. His hair does some weird stuff. And from the stitches, they did the old stitches with the cat gut and all that. And 103, I think he got. And we're taking him there, and he was sitting in the back, and I was holding a towel on his head so he wouldn't bleed on my mother's Mercedes. And I was telling him, hey, I'll take this towel off and let you bleed to death. And he, no. Yeah, good. And then the weekend comes, the old man come home and nothing. I'm expecting a major wailing. And the whole week went by, nothing. And Monday I was helping my mom in the kitchen. I said, when am I going to get in trouble? And she just looked at me and said, about time you stood up for yourself. That was the end of it. She let us play. And when we had problems, it wasn't her business. She let us handle it ourselves. And that's what you need to do to kids. You can't jump in between them all the time and take sides, because they won't tell you the truth. They'll lie. Like Mumu, he hit me. I was watching right out the window, and I've caught him doing that a couple times already. So, you got to watch him. But Todd, I don't think it's going to be that much of a challenge. They're going to have him in the class now. That's good. He learns quick. He's a very quick study on things. I think they're going to have him fixed up this year. And even if they want to advance him on, I don't care if they want to just progress on the grade he's in now. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's their job. And I don't like it when they call me up and say, what do you think? I'm not an educator. I was an electrician. I raised my kids. I did what I was supposed to with all my kids, and I'll help them with homework, stuff like that, but that's their job. So Yeah, Bamps, absolutely. They gotta take care of themselves, but things happen. Things happen in the schools that, if a kid finally defends himself, what do? They blame him for the fight. They'll have it on camera where he's getting pushed around, pushed around. Finally, he has enough and he wails the shit out of him, and then he's the one who gets expelled. You know, It's all backwards when you got, like up here at this school, we'll do him in private as soon as I can get things taken care of. Once we get a car, once we get the place all finished out, hopefully before next year, I want to put him in a private school, like a Huntington Learning Center or something like that. This whole school was just all women, and they're just not logical. You know, sorry, but it's what I've seen in my time on this earth. Big percentage, they just don't use logic. They think with emotion, and you can't do that. I remember when I was in school, all my teachers except one were men. And boy, I'll tell you what, you towed the line in that class, and you learned. And I liked my teachers. Now, the one lady that was in there, and I had her for a couple of years in a row. She taught different grades. She was an emotional wreck. She'd wind up screaming and hollering. She just couldn't handle the kids because, kids, it's like when I was a kid. The old man said something, you did it. Mom said something, it was optional. I don't know why that was. I even told my mother when I was quite a bit older and we were sitting chatting, I said, I'm really sorry for being that way. And she goes, what you sorry for? All you boys did it. It's just the way it is, guys. So, hopefully we can get them in a private school. They got a thing here that you can use the state school money towards the private school, and if it's a little bit more, we're just going to have to pay it. I'm going to have to budget that in and have him in a school. I did that to my oldest son, and boy, did he excel in there, because they filled him, they're sponges. They filled him with information, and he picked it up quick. He'd go into some classes, and they were trying to teach him stuff because they're teaching to the lowest kid in the school or in the class. They're teaching that kid, and they're trying to get him up to speed, and the kids up at the top are getting left behind because it's just not the way it needs to be. Take that kid like they're doing with Maddie. I'm glad they're doing this, and they're pulling him and they're putting him back one, and they're going to have a remedial reading. He needs it. Okay, he's having a problem reading English, getting words out. So I don't have a problem with him putting him back. That's their job. Their job is to teach him, and that's what I want them to do. So let me see if I got any more here. Yeah, the boys defend themselves. And I remember when I was young in school, if there was anybody got rough with any of the sisters, they only ever did it once because the brothers came in force and took care of business, and those guys talking out of the side of their mouth because their stupid jaw was broke and they were missing teeth, and they'll never forget that because you didn't allow that. When I was young. Now I've seen girls in the school fight. I seen a guy punch, on YouTube, a guy punched his chick right in the face because he got mad, and they just sort of let him walk away. Nobody stood up for the girl, and he knocked her silly, and she was just talking to him. She was talking to him. I guess it was a boyfriend or something, and you don't do that. It's like us. They tell you, oh, you got to watch out for these liberal women. You can't open the door for. Well, you know what my son and Maddie and I have been doing since we've been in this country? Hey, Maddie.
What?
We open the doors for the girls, don't we?
Yeah.
There's double doors in a lot of places. And I'll hold the first one, Maddie runs ahead and opens it, and every one of them, oh, wow, that's so nice. You're dang right. That's the way you're supposed to do it. And I'm teaching them that. Chivalry. Your job as a man is to protect a woman. My job right now is to raise a man. I'm not here to raise a punk or a worthless piece of crap. I'm here to raise a man. And I love my job. I love my boy and I love my job. We're going to turn him into a fine young man. And I think if the Lord's with us and I keep him into hunting, because there's this expense to that, and I keep him into fishing and sports, he's not going to have time for the other crap, you know. And he doesn't seem to be a follower, you know what I mean? And Mumu either. Mumu, when he goes in and plays with other kids, he's leading the pack. It's just an automatic thing. He just starts telling them what to do, and they start doing it. You know, and Matty, he's not a follower either. You know, he goes in there and speaks his mind, and he's a great kid. You know, yeah, scouts would be a fantastic thing for him, but they're getting so liberal and stuff like that. We went up to the gun thing, and there was the scouts there, and the boys are selling cookies now. I don't know why they didn't have a dress on them or a skirt or something. You know, selling cookies, and you know, we never did anything like that. We went out in the woods. We went one time out in November. I remember it was right before Thanksgiving, and we had a 4-day off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We got out there Friday in the morning, and we had to set up our places we were going to stay and live with our hatchet and our knife. And we made really nice lean-tos. We got wood for the fire, you know, and we were taught not to cut anything down for the wood. Try to pick up twigs and get enough stuff, and any pieces of wood. You're basically cleaning the woods up is what you're doing. And we stayed there for 4 days, and the I think it was Sunday morning, we got about a foot of snow. We were all toasty warm. All of it. We were fine, and we were playing in the snow, as kids do. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and he needs that. I definitely want to get him that. Yeah, Bams, absolutely. They're a skill that any man should have. You know, I'm not a big one for fishing, but I'm going to take him fishing. You know, we're going to get him a pole. We'll have budget for that. We got Christmas coming up, so I like for, you know, ice fishing. I did like to do ice fishing, and I learned from a guy that he'd do his ice fishing, and he didn't have a pole or anything sitting on a thing. He would set his string up to a mousetrap. And then what happened was, when the string would pull, it would hit that catch, set the hook, and that guy was just pulling them out. A lot of guys, when you're ice fishing, you go to set the hook, and buy a fish, he's gone already. You know, they're just nibbling on it and they're gone. This one, when they start to get a bite, it pulls them and they hook them in the lip. Every time he pulled them out, he had a nice fish, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to copy that. So, and it works. It works really good. You gotta check that out. But I used to really love ice fishing. You know, I wasn't one of these big dummies going to drive my car out on the ice. We actually were out, and a guy in a Ford Bronco, big 4-wheel drive, and he drives out on the lake, and he stopped and was setting up his, you know, he had a trailer it was like a big porta potty, it looked like. And he set that up and was drilling this hole, and his front broke through, and we're hollering at him, and before you know it, it just slid down into the water out of the lake. Bye-bye, Ford Bronco. That was bad. All right, Barb, cool. Yeah, the boy is, he's a gift. I don't know how other people feel about it, but he's a gift from above. I thank the good Lord every day that he lets me borrow him. I'm under no illusions. He's my little brother, and he's God's child. It's God's son, not mine. God just allowed me to have him for a short time. And I'm going to make the most of it. Huh, buddy? I'm definitely going to make the most of it with him. And he's going to keep me, he keeps me hopping. I told him today we're going to do the live, but if I wouldn't be doing the live right now, we'd be out on the walk, or we'd be kicking the ball or something, shooting his gun. There ain't no sitting around for him. He's a go-getter. I don't think, you know, when he picks what he wants to do, he's very good in math. You know, I could see him being an engineer, but I'm not. I'm with that row guy. Everybody's not set up for college to go. You have to have people that build the buildings and wire them, plumb them, frame them. You know, you need those guys too, and you can make a hell of a good living doing that. I did. Yeah, Mike, he's my my gift from above. And the sad thing is, so are the other two. And I'm starting to fear that I'll never see him here again. I'll probably won't see him, and I won't. I just probably won't see him anymore, and it's a shame. But I had to get out because I don't think I'd have lived much longer there. The stress was just too much, you know. I said this before. I could take just the Philippines by itself. I could deal with it. Worst thing I ever did was get a car. That just ruined it. And I could take just the wife if the Philippines was nice, but I just couldn't take them both. I just couldn't do it. I was getting this from both ends, you know. So, and then of course, I ruined her life. So that's a shame. Hey, San Augustine from Angeles City. There you go. Yeah, some guys make a pretty good time of it over there. And they do well. But for me, after a time, I was wanting to go. I was keeping a voice thing on my phone, and I was putting it to the card. And I had lost the card for a long time. And then when I was going through my little plastic containers we bought and stuff, I found the card and I'm like, oh, what the heck is this? And I'm glad I didn't format it or anything, but I put it in. It wouldn't play into one phone, but it plays in this lady's phone she's let me use. And it was my diary. You know, it was a 512. And I actually sat here when he was in school and listened to the whole thing. And it was over 5 years ago. I was wanting out. I was like, man, I got to get the hell out of this place. You know, I got to get the family the hell out of here. And that was over 5 years ago. So it was like in January. So we're already in. So it's close to 6 years that I wanted personally out, because I must have, because I put it in my little daily diary. I would, you know, not daily, but a couple times a week anyway, I would say something into it. But just not a good place. For me, I always felt like a second-class citizen. People say, oh, well, you get what you give. Nah, I'm friendly to everybody. I am friendly to everybody, but know this, if you look at an American dictionary, a loan is a loan, and you get repaid, just like at the bank. In the Philippines, loan is a gift, because you're never going to see a dime. You will not see a dime of any loan. So, and I'm glad I'm out, and he's glad. Hey, Maddie, come tell him how happy you are. Come on over here. Let's see your big face. Come on, let's see that smile. He's a goofball. Come here. Come on, I'll be in the camera. Come on, sit up on my leg. Hey, come on. Do you like it here?
Yeah.
You want to go back to the Philippines?
No.
Oh, come on, let's go back.
No.
Oh, come on, we'll go back tomorrow.
You go, I'll stay here.
That's it. From the mouth of babes, he loves it here. And you know, he's going to be the first one to see the snow. And you know, I did prepare us as best we could for winter. I got one fella that's sending me like some thermos. They're like the ones that, you know, you throw them in the washer, and when you take them out, you don't got to throw them in the dryer. You know what I mean? They're like dry already. Just hang them up for half an hour and then fold them, put them in the drawer. So he's fixing me up for that, which I really appreciate it. He doesn't want me to mention who he is, but you know who you are. Thank you very much. And I want to get the same for Maddie. You know, I want to get him some thermos, something that's going to keep the sweat from going, because he sweats. Yeah, Jim, they're going to walk all over you anyway. Water pressure here is fantastic. Now, a month ago, well, it's September. It was pretty close to a month ago. A week after we were here, I complained about no hot water in the kitchen sink and no pressure, and I told the guy it was the faucet. Well, 3 weeks later, after complaining, they came in and put a new faucet. It's got a sprayer, and I got pressure out the wazoo in there. Some mornings I get up 3, 4 o'clock, and I'll go get my shower in the morning. there's a lot of mornings I have to wait until Maddie goes to school to get a shower because there's no hot water in there. They did tell me there's a boiler out. This place has 2 boilers for the whole complex. And so you get hot water at about 8:30 in the morning, and you get hot water about 8:30 at night. The rest of the time it's lukewarm. It's a little better now. I've got pressure. I went ahead and put one of them shower heads that's on the cord, so you could take it off. And I got rid of that stupid one they had. It was all clogged up anyway. I know you just put them in vinegar and they'll clean right out, but I wanted one on the cord, and it's got a nice sprayer. It's real easy to clean the tub and stuff when you got that sprayer in your hand. I just take a scratch pad and vinegar and clean the bottom of the tub. Because we do a lot of grounding here when we go outside and play kickball, football, whatever. We get in the grass in our bare feet and we do some grounding. So you need to do that, guys. Hey, Ken Unger, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, Jim, you never know what you're gonna get there, and they will walk all over you, and I think they'll do it anyway. Like when you go into a place, one time we went into the mall in Alabama, and they had a middle section. The whole causeway in the middle was all people selling stuff, and my wife was saying, I saw a man purse I wanted. I said, man, that's the one I want. It was leather, it was real nice. And she went over there and she got $650. She talked them down to $650. So, okay, I told her, get it. So I walked over there, immediately went back up to $1,500, and this lady was just, her arms were crossed, and no. And then when, they gouge you. And same thing when you go to the markets and stuff. They'll gouge the crap out of you. If you don't see a price on it, don't buy. Just do not buy, and watch them on the scales too. They'll get you on the scales. So be careful of that. So I just, it got to be less and less fun. Yeah, that's the skin tax for sure. They're nailing you. I had a lady at the store who was overcharging me for a year, and then my buddy Ronald came over. I was smoking cigarettes then, and I was getting the Fortune, which comes out of the Marlboro plant. And I didn't smoke a lot. I'd smoke, one or two a day maybe. Sometimes go a few days and then have another one. And she was charging me 10 pesos for them. And then my buddy Ronald, after a year, he came over and he said, I'm going to run up and get a couple cigarettes. And I said, get me one. He goes, oh, I'll get you a couple. No, just get me one. And I gave him 10 pesos, and he came back and gave me 8 pesos back. They were charging him 2 pesos. So I went back and complained to the lady, and she says, you're rich. She came right to my face, you're rich. And I wouldn't allow my wife to shop there. We never shopped there again. When they gouged me, same thing happened up in our markets. When we, especially Lipa, some of these people were just gouging the crap out of me for eggs and all this stuff. And my wife would go and, I'd have to go over the other end and she'd pick up stuff. But we started going the ones that didn't. We had a wonderful lady that sold fruit, and she gave us a good price. And also the vegetable lady, because we were in there once a week buying fruits and vegetables. So my kids were just going through them like crazy. So.
Appa, and sometimes she gives us one for free.
Yeah, our little our fruit lady would always give the kids, if they were standing there, she'd reach over and give an apple, an orange. Mumu loves oranges. She'd just reach over in the pile, here, Maddie like avocado, she'd give him an avocado, bananas, she'd reach over and always throw extra. And the vegetable lady, she used to, when we get all done, we'd spend $30 a week. And then she would reach in with the chilies, which I love them chilies. My wife said don't buy them, because she would always reach in a big handful of the red ones, a big handful of the green ones. She'd throw in some of that, it's a funny lettuce with purple on the ends. It tastes really good. My wife makes sinigang with it, just absolutely. That was one thing I really enjoyed in the Philippines, is the sinigang. But you got to be careful. Don't use magic syrup. It's just so much stuff is full of MSG there. Red dye number 2 that's banned everywhere in the world. Oh, you get tons of that. You just got to watch. And the meats too. When you go there, like Australia, they don't feed them corn. Philippines, they don't get corn, so you're not going to get the marbled fat. So you have to be careful how you cook them. You know, it's how you cook them that'll keep them tender. And I got the hang of that pretty quick. Here we've been getting fantastic stuff, but I shop for it. You know, I went up to Aldi's and I walked up and I bought all of our meats. And I wished my bag was just completely full. And I'll tell you what, I'm not doing that again. It was just too heavy. I can put that big monstrous backpack I got on my back, and Maddie can still, it's not hitting him or anywhere. He sits back, so. Yeah, you don't want anything like that, Jim. It's just full of crap. But here I'm finding my stores. This Mark's store across the road from me, the one thing you don't want to really buy from them is the fruit. We've got apples. I bought a bag of Gala apples that were absolutely fantastic, and within 3-4 days, I gave one Maddie at school. I didn't pay attention to it. I just washed it real good, put it in his bag, and he come. Hey, didn't the whole inside was just completely rotted. You know, some bug got in there and stung it, and you know, it just wasn't good. I don't buy fruit from there anymore. Bananas I do. They got organic bananas. I buy them. I buy the organic stuff exclusively. You know, some people say it's not any better, but it's all I know what to do. I did get some really good head lettuce, which you forget it finding it in the Philippines. Head lettuce, forget it. If you do, you pick it up, it weighs nothing, and they charge you an arm and a leg for it. Celery, forget it. If they do sell you celery, a celery stalk's about that long. Here I went and bought celery and was making ants on a log and with cream cheese. I call it male and female. Peanut butter's ants on a log, males, and with cream cheese it's the female, you know. So, and they're good. That for me will be a lunch. You know what I mean? I like cream cheese and raisins on my celery stalk, and they got the big long celery stalks. The bananas are long here. Maddie likes them. He says he really likes the bananas, and we go through them pretty quick. You know, none of that stuff sits around here. You know, he always asks me, can I have it, you know, because he would have to ask in the Philippines all the time. No, that's bought for you. You know, if you want one, eat it. Just don't eat it right before dinner, because, you know, that's just not how we play. Yeah, Bams. Yeah, less poison. Pronouns, yeah. I'm not seeing too much of. The one thing I noticed here is you see a lot of people. It's not that they're fat; they're actually like morbidly obese and young. You know, very young. And the other thing that's disgusting is all the tattoos. I saw the one girl walking, and away from us, it looked like she had a terrible accident happen on the back of her calf. And then she stopped to talk to her friend, and this woman was just huge. And when I got up there, it was a tattoo. You know, it looked like a big scar. You know, it's like, don't do that. Read your good book, and don't mark yourself. You know, you don't want to wind up being a lampshade. And the way things are going, you know, the second coming might happen in our lifetime, guys. You know, the signs are just popping up one after another. Check out the red heifers. You know, I mean, if you want to know what's going to happen, it's all foretold in the good book, and just look at it. I wish that church would have been a decent church over there, but we won't be going back. You know, just I don't like those. You know, it's like California Progressive Church. You know, with the rock bands and all this crap. That's not my bag. And then the preacher too. You know, it's just big come on for money all the time. And I don't know for sure, but him saying that they had to spend $64,000 for this and that, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, where's the insurance? You mean you run this place and you're dumb enough not to buy insurance? Penny wise and pound foolish. They need to get rid of you. Get somebody who knows how to. It's it's a business, you know, which is a shame, but that's what most of these become. They become a damn business. And I don't know. I started out at, when I started going to Church of Christ back in the early 80s. There was an old guy named Crouch. He was in his 90s, and he was a hell of a good preacher, hell of a good one. But when I was in California, I went to different churches for years, and I'm just no, just not my thing. You know what I mean? I'm not into rock bands. I do not go to rock concerts. I went to one. It was the last one, and I wasn't driving, so I had to wait through it. I wound up going outside, and the guy said, if you go outside, you can't come back in. I said, you mean I can't go out to my car or something with my ticket? Nope. Good. So I just went outside and sat in the parking lot for about 3 hours, walked around a little bit, seen the area, and that's the last one I ever went to. I just can't take the loud noise and the bass. Everybody wants all this damn bass going on. That's not my thing. Well, Jim, I do. I'm not going to change my ways because people's got something going on up there. I was born a certain way. I was taught to open doors for the women, walk on the street side. When I was young, none of my sisters went up to the store alone. They had one of the boys went with them. And, I used to go with my sister all the time. If she was going up to the drugstore or something, open the door for her, walk to the street side. That's what we were taught, and that's the way I'm going to play it. And if somebody don't like it, that's their business. I'm not going to join in on their insanity. That's just not my bag. And if you look at pronouns, though, they, them, look in the Bible, what demons call themselves. And this is turning into a demonic thing, but I heard so much bad things, and I'm not seeing it here. I'm not seeing it. I don't think the food's a lot, depends on where you shop now, don't get me wrong. But I'm not seeing the foods any higher than the Philippines. Now, you can get fruit and vegetables cheaper, especially away from the markets, like the little old ladies that are pushing a cart. You'll get bargains and a half. But I was with my friend, and we were going to the market. We saw beautiful mangoes. Everybody had beautiful mangoes. 80 a kilo, and my buddy wanted to buy some, and I said, well, we'll get them on the way back. They're heavy. Then we got up farther, another 50 steps, and they were 60. And I'm standing there, I'm looking across the street, and there they were for 40. That's where we went and got them. We got a big old bag, because my kids, those Filipino mangoes are absolutely fantastic. And the thing that I really like that I've never seen here before, you can get them here now. You can get those nice little yellow ones, and they're absolutely delicious. They're not at the store all the time. And Walmart had them all the time, the one that we were going to. And that was really nice because we were sucking up, Maddie will suck up 2-3 a day. And I'm going to buy them for him. He loves them. I love them. But that's just too far of a ride. That's a 10-mile round trip. I can't seem to get the buses to stop for me. And when we were at the motel, there was a little old man there waiting for the bus by the pole. They only have bus stops on the other side. So he was standing by the pole, and the bus rode right by him. And I said, wow, why'd the bus go by? That's the one for this route. He says, yeah, they do it all the time. So I was like, wow, that's really something. So the next one picked him up, though, because we went inside, unloaded our groceries, we came back out, and he was getting in the next bus, it was like a half hour later, by the time we came back out. Oh, buddy. You looking forward to getting your .22 rifle?
Yeah.
Yeah? You gonna learn to shoot it good? He's doing good with his pellet gun. Now, I don't, with the round pellets, they'll flyers because they're a round ball, but the little ones we bought, the little lead
I'll show
cylindrical
them.
ones. Yeah, go ahead and show them. Bring them both.
Okay.
Those ones, there's, I think we got, I'll have to look on the can. But the big can had like 2,000 in there. Let me see here.
2,400 in the big one.
All
and
right.
I want to show them this one.
Yeah, these ones there's 2,400 in there. Yeah, 2,400. And then these little guys right here, these are the same price.
But expensive.
You could shoot them right in one, turn it into a big hole, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are really good, but they're expensive to shoot. So
They
I don't think he's
expand a
gonna have a
little bit.
problem on squirrel. And rabbit, when we go out, I've started to see a lot of rabbits. We just have to find a good spot to hunt. We're gonna go out on the 23rd, visit with family, spend the weekend. I haven't seen my sister in, my goodness, had to be 20 years. So she said, "Oh, how would you like to come out? For the whole weekend, we're gonna barbecue and cold or not." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't have a car." And she said, "I know, that's okay, we'll come get you." And it's a pretty good ride. It's a pretty good ride to come get us. And then, of course, they got to take us back and go back. And I thought, wow, that's really, really sweet of her. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. She took a picture so Maddie could see it. But he just loves everybody in the family. He took to my oldest brother right away. My daughter, she's 6'2". He took to her. He sends her messages that he loves her, and he just took to her. And she was being real sweet to him. And he, instead of grabbing my hand across the street, he grabbed hers, and that's good. They need to get to know each other. But the one thing that happened here too is you have to be real careful. We do a lot of walking. We have to be careful. And I always tell them, you gotta hold my hand. Well, we got a walk signal right across the road here.
Papa, after you're live, can you go for a walk?
Yeah, he wants to go for a walk here pretty soon. But what happened was, I had his hand already because it's gonna turn. The red light turned, so we got the cross. And I just turned around like this. I'm glad I had his hand because he was ready to zip across the street. He likes to pull me across, because I walk slower than him. And I pulled him back, and this lady in a Camaro, souped up, the new one that's all factory speedy. She come flying through that red light doing 50, and he'd have been a skid mark, And then the other thing that happened up the road here, these two guys were in drag cars with slicks on them. They shouldn't have even been on the road, and they had a drag race right up the road here, at the light by before the bridge, the train bridge, and they had a drag race, and I could hear them for a quarter of a mile racing. And I was thinking, man, we got to be on our toes, Well, just like the Philippines, you better be on your toes in the Philippines too. I used to take the kids for huge walks over there, and I wish their mom would have went with us too, because it was always a lot of fun. But Mumu, there was a real light corrugated piece just laying on the ground, and he went to go jump on it, and I just grabbed him because it went down a hole, and it was full of rebar, and it was a hole about 8 feet deep, and they just threw a piece of stuff over it. So, everywhere you go, you got to watch. Yeah, so things are going really well. We're doing good on everything. The Lord's blessed us with plenty to eat, nice place to stay. We don't really have much furniture, but I bought those 2 queen size air mattresses. Maddie always winds up in my Mr. Octopus. He's kicked me in the face a few times already in the middle of the night. And then pick him up and put him back over on his, and before you know it, he's back over on me. So. But that's the way it goes. They grew up Filipino style, where we all plop in one big bed. Of course, I always get this much of the edge of the bed, but that's just how it went. And I didn't have a problem with it. Now here, if Dorothy would ever come, they're telling me I have to get a 2-bedroom. And I'm like, why don't they? Well, if you're free, just let us be free. You know what I mean? But a lot of things you're just not free anymore to do. It's a shame that people are neb-nosers and in your business all the time. And it's for me, it's awkward when I was in the Philippines. When did you move here? What did you do there? Where are you going all the time? I don't know. I'm going to Nunya business. People say I'm nasty, but that lady I thought was a rotten lady, so I treated her the way she treated me. You had a 2B, I don't know what that is, Sean. 2BE, Fill me in, Sean. I have no idea what you're talking about. But we're looking forward to getting out and doing at least some more nature walks. I actually got him. We got us both an orange knit cap, international orange, and we're just going to buy the vest. They got the vest now. The guy at the store said, when you get your ID and you come back, he said you know they're going to be on sale. We're going to be getting a lot in, and they're going to be cheaper than these ones now. He says, and everything's going to drop in the price because they know they're going to sell the volume of them. So we're just going to get vests, orange vests. I don't know what. I still don't know. 2x4, I guess. But the thing that got okay. No, not now. Just leave it there. That's what got me at the gun shop. You know, I went down there to get the Ohio ID. The lady gave me a paper. It's the interim ID, and it's got the barcode on it, and it's got a QR code on it. It's got all the numbers down under there underneath the barcode, and it's got them on the QR code. So I'm justified. She said, yeah, you can go down to the gun shop and buy a gun now. Okay, so we went in to buy the gun, and they said, can't use that. And I said, why? I talked to the lady. Hey, put that back. Don't run around with that. That's my food, please. And it's their policy. I said, it's not a law though. You can use, no, it's our policy. We don't use that one. You gotta wait till you get your card. So, not where I know, Sean. You know, I can look it up online, but most of that stuff is like, it's ridiculously far. If we get a car, you know, I'm not looking to get, you know, it would be nice to find an old one that was in good shape, but I've saw some beautiful old cars, you know, old Lincolns and stuff that were in decent shape. You pay the mileage penalty. I used to do that years ago because they were cheap. Now you look at a, you know, 78 Lincoln, 77 Lincoln, they want 15, 20,000 for them. And there's rust on them. And I looked at some cars that were in the 5,000 to 8,000 range. I got on the Facebook, and there's a bunch of them around here, and I'm looking at these things saying, man, I wouldn't give you $50. I didn't say this to them, but I wouldn't give them $50 for it. You look underneath, and it's just all covered in oil. There's leaks everywhere. The one guy, the thing, he couldn't even get it started. Oh, it does this sometimes. Oh, you wait a couple hours. Well, you know, the carburetor, it's an easy fix, but guess what? I don't have the tools to fix stuff now. Can I? Sure. I'm looking at it, I know exactly what was wrong with it. And it needed a carburetor rebuild. You know, it was just dumping too much gas down in it. It would catch and then flood. And he said, oh, I just wait. The next day, sometimes it starts right up. It was old Buick. And I was like, come on. Let's see. Okay, what state are you in, Sal? I forget. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah. Liverpool, UK. How you doing, buddy? There's a long-time viewer, Rio. Robert, how you doing? Now some people are coming in after an hour and 50 minutes. What does it say? Hour and 50, 27. A lot of people coming. Oh, New York. You know something? I hunted in New York deer. We used to hunt all around. You know, we get our buck the first day. We head to West Virginia. We didn't like to go to Ohio because back then it was all muzzleloader. And then we'd wind up going to New York and hunt. And boy, I'll tell you what. When you think of New York State, you think of, this New York City, and you think of all this, but boy, it's got some of the most beautiful farmland. Folks are friendly. I had a buddy that knew a guy from down there, and we could hunt on these different farms, and they'd even come out and say, okay, you see that way over that fence? You can hunt all the way up to there, but the guy over the next one, you'd have to ask him. If the deer runs over that fence, don't you go take it. He's going to get pissed. You come around. And he says he lives right up the road. He's the next one up the road, and we were like, wow, these people are great. You right on the border in New York? I think the 80 goes up through there, or the 90. Yeah, a lot of times my, hey, Born Free, a lot of times my live things don't come out. I actually had, my son's got a little channel, you know, Matty Boy, just so he can watch it and watch my videos and stuff. And I need to put a thumbs up, you know. And he didn't get any notification at all that there was a live. And there's a lot of people don't get it. You know, I think Ronald would probably be popping in at least to say hello or something, unless he didn't get it. And it happens a lot. I don't know Olene, so I don't know that one. But we hunted out there, and I'll tell you what, we had a lot. I enjoyed hunting, you know, hunting deer, but I was never one of them guys that just would sit in ambush. I just couldn't sit in one place for a while. I had a tree lounge for a while, which was really nice, but I'd wind up fall asleep. Yeah, Jim, see, that's what happens to me. They don't put any notifications up, so they're still going off my old one. That's why I'm going to start the new channel. It's going to be called Expat Returns, and I believe the email is going to be expatreturns369. That's the Gmail account I opened up for that. Get it set up on Messenger and all that. There you go, Paulie. There you are, buddy. But yeah, I loved to hunt. I used to stalk. I remember when I was a very young man hunting, I noticed the turkeys don't be quiet. They're loud when they come through the woods, especially when leaves are rattling, and squirrels don't. So what I used to do is when I'd go out coon hunting the night before or something like that before the first day, or I'd just be out in the woods. And then I'd cruise all through and watch where the deer were, see where they were bedded and all that stuff. And then what I would do is I would walk maybe 15 feet to the next tree and shuffle my feet so you don't break a twig. That's a death knell for deer. And just shuffle your feet on the ground, keep it low to the ground, shuffle them and kick the leaves up and everything and get over to the next tree. Same thing in the snow. Don't crunch through the snow. Nothing does that out there. They push through it. And the light animals just run on top of it. But shuffle your feet and go from tree to tree and just start. And then when you get to the next tree, just keep your eye out. And I've actually walked up to within 25 yards of them. It actually surprised me because I thought, wow, they didn't see me. You know, because I didn't see them. And all of a sudden you see the head pop up, go down. Head pop up, go down. And the one real nice deer I got that way, I shot him at it was probably about 25 yards. It was the 12 point I got. That was the biggest one I ever got. Didn't have a real wide spread though. It was kind of narrow, but it was a beautiful 12 point. But most of the time I bow hunted, and I did the same thing with bow hunted. I stalk hunted. I just couldn't sit there. I had the tree lounge for a couple of years, and I wound up falling asleep in the thing. Guys, I'm telling you what, those things are absolutely fantastic, and they can hold a lot of weight. Trust me. And they're easy to use, and there's plenty of hickory trees you can get up. But me, I was a fantastic tree climber. I won't climb a tree now. If I took a fall now, I'd probably be dead meat. But you'd find me way the hell up in the tree. You know, even bow hunting. I actually shot a bow that came right underneath the tree. He was sniffing on the ground. My buddy was with me, and he put a little bit of that rut stuff down on the tree thing. He says, I'm going to put that on. I said, I'll just wait. Well, that thing came right below me, and I basically shot him through the spine, almost vertical, almost straight up and down. So that was really something. But I got him too. That was a nice 8 point. Yeah, Dorothy's doing okay. She's going to lose her English, though, that's for sure. And then she wanted to come when she's 10 years old. She could come, and she was saying she wanted to come. And then all of a sudden, it was like, I can't come unless we bring mommy. And I just asked her, where's mommy going to stay? You know. So. Yeah, it's funny, Mike, how even back when I was young, there were people who would patrol. There used to be a guy out by us. If I wanted to cut close to home, he would patrol around on this 3-wheeler Honda with his military helmet, his big military vest. He's an old guy, and he had an M1 Garand that he would carry it on his shoulder, and he'd drive around. Anybody was even close to his ground, he'd run them off. Get out of here! Hey, that's not your ground, man. This don't belong to you. Get out of here anyway. You know, he's just an old prick. You know. Yeah, Paulie. Well, getting back after that many months in the Philippines, yeah, you're going to have a lot to do. You know, that's just the way it goes. You got to prepare for winter too. You know, Michigan, I know they get some serious winters, so that's the way it goes. But I loved to hunt. I hunted up in Michigan too, way up north though. We were way the heck up, and boy, there's not much around there. There's a few towns, but you get out of the towns, it's like nothing. You know, they'll even tell you at the gas station, you know, how far can you go in a tank? You got enough? You want to buy a can? Because it's just like nothing up there. So I don't know about today, but this is when I was young. So they probably everything built up. I'm so surprised in this area of Ohio, how much new stuff is here. It's just amazing. Okay. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, FBI guy, Pataya, you're going to go away if you keep it up. No, Barb, but it's something that's never going to go away. I was in a terrible accident. I had to have 3 back surgeries. First one just so I could get up. Suffered with it most of my life, and now what it's doing is it's got scoliosis, and now what's happening? It's affecting my up and through my shoulder blades. So I got to be real careful. I'm not lifting anything, and that's what happened to me. I was lifting the tandem bicycle up, and this thing is heavy. Believe me, it was heavy, and that's what started the ball rolling. And it's going to take a while. Robert, I'm south of Cleveland, Ohio, southwest of Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know how many miles, but in a car you could be into Cleveland in no time, but on a bicycle, who knows, a few hours anyway. But I lived around here until I was, when I was young, and then I wound up going to Pennsylvania. And but here they're going to make me take the driver's test again. I even told lady, look, lady, as soon as I gave her all my information, she said, "Oh, you haven't driven in Ohio in a long time. I see it's 84." And I said, "Yeah, that's when I moved out, and my license was getting ready to expire, so I wanted to get to Pennsylvania and trade it in before it expired." And then I was in Pennsylvania for a long time, then California, and then Philippines, of course. But now I come back, my California license expired.
On your video, alive.
Oh, yeah. And then the Filipino license, even though it's good for like 9.5 more years, nope. I got to take the driver's test. I have to go physically jump in a car and show the guy I can drive. And I said, "Lady, I drove in the States for like 42 years. Doesn't matter, you know." So, oh, Simeon, no, I don't. I doubt I'll. That's my internet doing it again. Not good on planes anymore. You know, it's just such a long, drawn-out trip. You know, we had a layover of 11 hours the last time in Doha. Nice airport, by the way, but expensive just to find a place to try to sleep. You know, they were wanting for so many hours. They were wanting like $100, you know, to go in one of these little rooms that just had a bed, you know, and a place to put your luggage. I mean, they were tiny. I couldn't touch the walls, only reaching this far. And it was a twin bed in there, not a bunk bed or anything. And then they were, "No, you have to get the other one because you're your boy." And, oh, come on. So, and it was too much anyway for me. So, but no, I don't want to go back there. You know, I had enough. You know, I did it. I can tell everyone I did it. But as for going back, no. If I was able to go back and pick up my daughter, or my son or something like that to bring them here because they'll need a chaperone, that's when I would go back, but I don't think I would leave the airport. I would stay in, I wouldn't try to go through customs or nothing. I'd stay right there in the airport, wait for the kids, pick them up and go. Because I just don't want to do the Philippines anymore. You know, I just don't. So it's kind of like California. Yeah, that was another place. It wasn't that the place wasn't beautiful. It was and not a lot of them, but some of the people. I had one time I was coming out of a sporting goods store and I had a big Bowie knife on my hip, and some old guy, he was a pretty tall fella, and his wife come up and he says, "What are you carrying a knife for?" Well, the knife laws in California are very lax. You can pretty much carry anything other than a sword. And yeah, I don't think you could do that. Yeah, well, too bad, you can. And I'm scared of that. And I looked at him and said, "Pal, if you're scared of it, why'd you come over to me?" "I'm calling the police." And he got his cell phone out, called the police. So I thought, I'm not gonna drive away. You know, because by the time I drive away, he's gonna tell the police, "Oh, he had a sword, it was this long. You know, and he was threatening us." And cameras were all over the parking lot, which was really cool. So the cop come over, kind of looked at my knife and then went over to talk to them. He didn't really bother me or anything, but I waited for him. And then he basically told him, "Hey, he's doing nothing wrong." And the guy was arguing with the cop. "Well, there should be a law." You know, they want to take some of these liberals, they want to take all your defense away. You know, and as a man, your job is to defend your life, because when you defend your life, you're defending your family's life. Because if you're out of the picture, I feel bad for Dorothy and Mumu, especially Mumu. You know, getting raised by a woman is going to be the worst thing ever happened to him. It's absolutely 100% going to be the worst thing. But it's just what happened. At least I got Maddie out.
Papa, I showed him this.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's just these liberals get in there and they want to save everybody. Well, that's a big pile of bullcrap. They never show you how many times that somebody has a gun and those criminals went the other way. You know what I mean? How many times does that happen? Probably doesn't get notified, because if you call the police, you're so likely to get killed by them. So, my son built this, by the way. It's a Lego Bugatti. I refuse to help him. I absolutely 100% refuse to help him. It's got so many pieces, it isn't funny. But it's his toy. My daughter bought it for him. It was 50-some bucks, 59 bucks, I think, and she bought it for him. And I let him knock himself out. He finally got it finished, and he wants to take it show and tell at school. So, cool car, buddy. You did a great job. He's mechanically minded, and that's probably the route he's going to go, and I'm fine with that. You know, everybody can't go to college and be a doctor or a lawyer. That's right, Mike. Yeah, Michael, he worked at the hotel, and he got a little frustrated. So I went over and said, "Look, if you're frustrated, just put it back in the box, and when you're ready, you'll know it, and you'll go back." And then he worked on it some more. Then when he got here, you know, he's got a lot of space now. And I told him, "Look, you can put it in this drawer in the kitchen. That's your drawer." And he was sitting on the floor, and he just kept building it. I'd help find parts. Sometimes the parts would roll away or under the fridge or something, we'd get them. But I did not have a hand in building any of it. And he finally got it done. I mean, he stuck with it until he got the thing done. He actually had 2 days where the one day he worked almost the whole day on it. And he kept telling me, "I'm down to the last bag of stuff." And he's reading the instructions. He can read the instructions that are in English, but he can't speak it, you know, so. But I'm telling you what, yeah, he did, Mike. I'm telling you one thing, the best move that ever happened to this kid was coming here. You would not believe him. You would not believe the difference in this boy. And you like to go riding on the bicycle too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go for rides on that tandem bike. we gotta fix it up. I got a seat coming out of Belgium. It got cleared customs in the United States. So maybe a week away. It's slow. I ordered it over a month ago, a month and 4 days ago. I just looked today. And so we'll have that. And then I think I'm just gonna go to the bike shop up here and get him another seat. But I gotta do some stuff to it. Once winter comes, this bike shop down here is a full service, just a great place. I think I'm gonna put an Alfina hub on it in the back to get rid of this. I never liked the derailleur system. That's for bike racers in the Tour de France and all that stuff. When I was a kid, we had those little 3 speeds internal hub. Remember those? And most of them were 1 speeds where you kick the pedal backwards and you could lock up the back wheel. That's more of what you need, not this derailleur system. And I learned a long time ago, I don't touch the derailleur because I don't know what I'm doing and I don't like them, so I don't even want to know how to do them. This one was fine when we got it. Now it's starting to mess up, skipping gears, and the clicks, the cables are shot, so I need to replace all the cables, but I'm gonna wait. I have to get a higher handlebar for me. Maddie's is just fine, but I need to get him a good comfy seat. And I need a seat post that's about 6 inches longer, because when I'm pedaling, it's like I'm sitting in a chair when I get to the bottom of the stroke, so. Yeah, Mike. What?
I'm going to call around the driver's house.
Okay, watch out. Let me see here, what do we got? Yeah, his future's gonna be, I think it's gonna be better. It would be better for all these babies that are in the Philippines now. They would have such opportunities here. Dorothy's a super smart, but she's gonna lose her English. It's just like these people that are nurses and doctors that come. I know a doctor, you know what he was doing? He was a doctor in the Philippines. He was a janitor in a hospital because he couldn't pass the test. So, the education system there, I always said, I watched my one buddy, when his boy graduated, I looked at the books and his high school was,
I'm going to make this go downstairs.
okay. When I was looking at his books, because he brought all his books home, and it was like the stuff we learned in 5th grade, I kid you not. It's so far behind. And then when my kids, we had them in private school since the beginning, but then that convent started, and then all the private schools, they smashed them. So now they're in the government school, and there's nothing you can do about it, except now they got the super expensive private schools that I just couldn't afford. It would have just took too much from them. Super expensive for the rich people of the Philippines. That's what they want, and keep the dumb ones dumb. And they just don't teach, and that's why they all go to college. They say, oh, the Philippines, you got to get people from the Philippines. They're all college educated. Yeah, because they're trying to catch them up to 11th, 12th grade. That's all college does here. And the other thing that I noticed is kids that go to college, they don't want to be there because their parents are trying to force them into a certain cubby hole that the parents want them in. I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be this, that, the other. You can't do that. They got to make their own way. Even when they're young, when they start figuring out what they want to do, they'll get it figured out. Like me, I did not want anything to do with college. I wanted to go work with my hands. That's what I wanted to do. And that's what I did. And I tell you what, when I was an electrician, I think in all the years I was an electrician, I had maybe 2 bad days, and that was just my problem. It wasn't the job. I loved my job. I was up early, eager, ready to go to work. And I'd work all the way to the end, and I got a lot done, and I felt satisfied, because there's something I did. It wasn't anybody else doing it. It was me doing it, and that's what I wanted. And I see him, he's got the same mentality. He worked on that damn car, and I'm telling you what, it says right on the box, ages 14 and above. He's 8. He got that damn thing together by himself. I forget how many pieces, 800 and some pieces or something. He said he saw on the paper, it was, I don't know where the paper went, 1,400, but it doesn't look like that many. But still, it was for 14 and above. And he got her together, and I looked at the instructions and everything's working the way it is. Now, they had a thing where if you put the oil pan on, then it was kind of dragging on the carpet. He didn't like that, so he took it apart. He had to go 2 bags back, take everything apart, take the oil pan off, then you could see the piston rod or the crankshaft and all that stuff. And I was telling him what stuff was while he was working on it. And now he can push it around on the carpet. So it's his. He can do with it what he wants.
Papa,
Todd, 5th.
are we going to that park today?
Yeah, Jim. Today, we're not going anywhere today. It's 8 o'clock. We got to go to bed here in about an hour or so.
We still gotta go for a walk.
Yeah, we're going to go for a walk when I'm done. I'm going to be done here pretty soon.
Want some?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
But yeah, he's me. The one thing I didn't like about derailleurs, it's for a bike racer. I've had nothing but trouble with them, and every bike I had, like when I built my bike in California, I bought the Alfina hub. Now what I did though, you could buy the Alfina hub at the time. It was pricey, but then they had one that had a lot more gears, super low and all this stuff, and then like an overdrive stuff. But what I did on that one is I put a derailleur just in front. I had one for like the big sprocket and then a small one, and that one, the dude at the bike shop set it up. He put me my covers on it so I wouldn't get my pants all chewed up. He custom fabricated a chain thing because I keep my chains oiled, and that bike was great. I hated to leave it, Hey, West Virginia, how you doing, Jeff? Mongo, how you doing? Yeah, West Virginia. I used to hunt down in West Virginia quite a bit. We used to go down around Parkersburg area. Guy from church. One time when we hunted on, he still had a big piece of property. It was 450 acres or something. And then he knew everybody around there. So for a long time, there we are. We're back again. Sorry about that, guys. I think I brought a little bit of the Philippines with me when it comes to this stupid internet. But one time when it was down in West Virginia, he wanted to tear down the barn, so everybody from the church helped, rip down this big old barn. But there was huge, when they built this thing in the 1800s, they used the trees that were around in the footprint of the barn and around the area where they wanted their corrals and stuff. And there was a bunch of walnut. And the guy had like a sawmill thing, and he cut me up a whole bunch of gun stocks. It was just straight American walnut. If somebody wanted a less expensive stock, I could use that. He gave me one of them big old Dodge 15 passenger full. We couldn't even close the back door because he didn't cut them. He cut them longwise, but he didn't cut them sideways. So they were sticking out the back, and we had a red flag. We got stopped by the cops because it was sitting down like this. We had so much wood, and I made a lot of gun stocks out of that wood, and it was good and strong. I mean, that stuff was just absolutely a durable stock. I was making, back then I was making the guns and ammo, the 460 guns and ammo cartridge, 500 grain at around 2,400. I mean, that thing will let you know you're shooting it. And great gun. But I've seen guys at the school that built guns even more powerful than that, and the stocks were showing, inside where it was too thin was already giving way and cracking and stuff. And the ones I built, that wood was just like a tank. So that was pretty cool.
Papa,
But he gave me a whole bunch. Yeah, Mike, it's this damn internet here. It's been happening this whole live. My internet is so unstable now, and then upload speeds, supposed to be getting 300, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And I go on to do the speed check, and it's down at like 27 instead of 300, 28. It'll jump around 26, 27, 28 at certain times. So they got to fix this. I told the lady, look, the guy's coming out. Let's fix it. If not, I want out. I'll have to bite the bullet and pay the AT&T, which is in here now. But I don't want anything to do with, it's like Philippines, just like in the Philippines. Man, that's you guys don't realize when I was in the Philippines how much time I put in to making these. And the lives are nice because, they're done. But now I'm running into the same thing here.
the Philippines.
Just uploaded 10-minute videos over an hour, so. women doing Philippines. Yeah, I know that. But what they're teaching, like they took my kids and I'd go up to the school. We lived right there. And I'm tall enough to look over the wall. What are they doing most of the time? They're dancing. They're having a dance class. They're just trying to create a big pile of robots that'll go to work and keep their mouth shut. That's all they're doing. Yeah, Starlink, I'll tell you what, Christopher, yeah, I know that's nice, but I don't see it around here yet. Hey, Jeff. Oh, Messenger or hit me up on my email. We got you can hit it's Rick Shaw Philippines. Oh no, Rick Shaw. Sorry, it's just Rick Shaw, no spaces, and then 82885, 82885, and then of course at Gmail. So it's Rick Shaw 82885. At gmail.com, and you can go ahead and send me a message there, and we'll do that.
Apollo, I need stuff for the golf.
I see that. Well, good. See if you can putt through that. I got to get a regular golf ball. Right now we got these like plastic balls, and he's been liking to putt, and I've been practicing too. When he's at school, I'll practice. But what he has to learn is just the distance control. He got the aiming down. What I always used to do when I was putting is I'd set a ball on one side, even at the putting range, instead of putting in a hole, and I'd try to hit that ball. But I'd also try to make it stop. Even if I was hitting it, it had to just barely touch it and not move it too much. Well, Matty's got the aim down. He can whack that thing and smack the other ball every time. But if he'd miss, that ball would go 10 feet past. So now you're back at it. So me, when I was golfing, I'm very lucky when it came to putting, because anything that's over like 10 foot and inside, it's almost a gimme. I don't think about it. I don't get in all this. I take a look while I'm walking up. I get up to the putt, pat, and I knock it in the hole. I don't worry about it. And did pretty good. I actually, when I was golfing out in California, I was averaging 26 putts around for my first year or so. And then we started playing at some real nice places with just beautiful greens, now all the public ones, and I went down to 24 putts around. So I thought that was a good step.
Oh, cool. Apollo,
Hey, Christopher, there you go.
let's see if I can hit this other ball at the end.
Okay. Well, something, Todd, it was two things. It was this
Yeah.
from the little Filipina, and then just the place. You jump in a car. I could walk to the market faster than you could go in a car. They're very inconsiderate drivers. I mean, it's cutthroat. Like one day I was pulling out on my tricycle, and the guy actually stopped. So I pulled out. Here come a vehicle in the wrong lane. And he's beeping at me and starts hollering at me, F you, screaming at me out his window. And I'm like, what's the matter with these people? He's in the wrong. If he'd hit me, but guess what? If he would have hit me and I'd have got hurt, or Matty would have got hurt, because it was Matty and I, we'd have took it through court, because he wouldn't have done anything. They know to do this to a foreigner. Just take him to court. Just don't agree with anything. Go to the Baron guy, go to the police, do whatever you want. And then by the time it gets over, after 3.5 years, you ain't getting crap. You're not going to get nothing, because he's going to, I don't make that much money, and blah, blah, blah. I know his hospital bill was over 1 million pesos, but I don't have the money. And the judges will go for them Filipinos every time. You will not be backed by the court system in the Philippines that I've ever seen or heard of. So don't think you are. You're a second-class citizen. And I got tired of being that. I got tired of being a second-class citizen. Here, I like the fact too that I can go by and banter with people. Hey, how you doing? And we struck up some pretty good conversations with people while we're walking. Even Maddie said, "Oh, that's not like in the Philippines." Yeah, in the Philippines, Christopher, they do the same thing. If they don't know, they don't want to lose face, so they'll tell you the wrong way. Yeah, human. That's. I wanted out before that. Well, you just got to watch it again. I don't want to go over it again. It just was. I had enough. That's all. Okay, what's your name on there? Orel. Okay, yeah, I just had enough of the Philippines. It's not my culture. Never will be. I'm never going to be treated properly, and I don't think my children will be. Now, the kids that know them now and the people that know them now and know that they grew up here, it's going to be different. They'll probably treat them pretty well. But it's the people they're going to meet as they go, because they do not look like their mother. Their skin's lighter. They're definitely little American kids. They didn't get a lot of looks, just a little bit in the eyes of their mother. So they're going to be treated as a Kano. And are they going to make it real far? I hope they do. I really do. But I doubt I'm ever going to see them again. Well, it was before that, Mike. Before the COVID, I was ready to go. But the COVID was like ridiculous. You know, I watched a man one day. He was 58, 60, something like that. Heavy-set Filipino guy. One of these guys that got aches and pains, so he takes it out on everyone else. And this young boy came out from the alley, and he went to the store. His mother's probably sent him to the store, didn't have a max, and this guy went right across his back with an Oscura stick, and wham! I mean, he hurt this kid. The kid's probably gonna have trouble the rest of his life. And boy, that ticked me off. I ran up. I didn't have a mask on. I said, "Hey, Pappy, you want to go ahead and hit me without a mask?" And I was really amazed. I was really amazed at this guy, because I'd never seen a guy run so fast in my life. He took off out of there, and I went up to Bear Guy. What the hell's going on here with these people? He just smacked that kid right in the back, a 14-year-old kid. We know the kid. You know, what kind of punishment is that? So he wasn't wearing a stupid face diaper. Give me a break. It was all bull crap anyway. You watch my videos. I didn't buy them. You know, in the beginning I was like, no, they ain't forcing me to do nothing. I'll decide. I'm not doing no mandates, but it's all just been mandates. It's not a law. They passed a law for that. I still ain't going for it. They'll have to arrest me and throw me in jail, because I don't want it. And that's why I worry about the public school, because they want to have the dentist come look at them. They want to have the doctors come look at them. No. Your job is to teach the children. Health-wise, that's my job. You stay away from them. I got a medical card for them. We've got an appointment. We're both going up for a full physical. Make sure we don't got any worms or TB or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because you don't know until it's too late. So we're going to get fully checked out, and it's going to be a doctor I can talk to. You know, not some Filipino doctor that never dealt with a foreigner before. You know, I had the one doctor, "You're my first American patient." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I hope everything's in the same spot." You know? I guess, but yeah, it's something. It's
nice.
I'm just glad I'm out. And there's a little boy right here that's really glad he's out too, and I'm sure the other ones would be super glad to be out too. But Dorothy's not allowed to come unless her mother comes with her, and I asked her, ask your mom. Maddie don't want his mom to come.
No, she's just gonna beat us.
Yeah, you heard it from him. I didn't prompt him to say anything, but you know, I told her to ask her mom where she's gonna stay. They stay with me. I don't want havoc in here. I'm finding some peace for a change after years and years of just not good. And you know, I'm retired. I don't want turmoil, and I don't want this, you know, kid stuff. You know, this banner. I see. Oh man, I can't believe around here I see some of these young guys with these chicks that are like kind of rotund and stuff, and they're bitching at the guy already. You know, and then I heard the one fellow, she openly berates him walking to the store. I saw her up at the dollar store, and she was bitching at him again. They're living together, and then I just heard from another neighbor they got married last weekend. What's the matter with that guy? You know, he's going to get a life of that now. So.
I'm probably not missing the ball now.
Oh, now, Christopher, you know, it's all changed. You know, same thing. Oh, I jumped out again. Sorry, guys. But I got a happy boy now. He's running around. He's playing. He's doing stuff. He liked it when we went on walks. You know, all the kids came with us, but he really liked it when it was just him and me. Sometimes he'd get up at 2:30 in the morning when I did, and we'd go for a big walk. You know, for like an hour and a half. And he'd usually go back and sleep for a little while, fall asleep on my lap or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, huh? And we enjoyed that. We'd always take Shaky with us.
Yeah, Shaky's a good dog.
You're damn right, Shaky's a good dog. But
I miss her now.
so do I, buddy. But it's, you know, that dog, people don't realize how much time I put into her. You know, it's just like your children. You have to put the time in if you want something special. And she's the fantastic dog. And I'm glad that she wasn't got rid of. The other one was going to work out just fine, but with me leaving, all the training would stop, and it would, you know, he was a rover. You know, he would take off and go way the hell up, and they were getting complaints. So when she said she was getting rid of him, okay, go for it.
How did this get in here?
Oh, that's one of those things I told you, helicopters that fall off the tree.
No, you said there was only one.
No, but it's because it'll break apart. And then, watch, look.
Oh, you mean that one?
Yeah, you never saw those before, did you? Here, let's show the guys. Show the guys on the chair. Is that cool? I told you those are going to be coming out. I said October, but it's actually early.
I thought they looked different.
Come on, show the guys on there what he found. More. There you go. Show it with your finger. See?
I got
A
two.
helicopter. Remember those guys? He never seen one. I was telling him about them.
How do you throw them again?
No, they fall out of the tree and they just spin. But toss it up.
Oh, that one didn't
That one
spin.
did. Yeah, well, here, I threw it. There you go. Yeah, so he's learning
Now
a
we
lot
got
of
a
new
new
stuff.
toy.
He wants to go for a walk. I'm going to cut this off in a little bit here,
Look,
and we're
I
going to
got
go
a
for a
new
walk. It's dark.
toy.
Okay.
Whee!
It's dark here already. When we first came here, it was like pulling teeth to get him to go to sleep because it was still light at 9:30 and he didn't want to go to bed. Now it's starting to get where I can get him to bed at a reasonable time. We've been going to bed between 9 and 10, so that's the way we go. What do we got? Well, you know, something else too, Christopher.
Doing
A lot of times those walks was just to get away from the turmoil.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at it.
Mommy keeps beating us.
Yeah, I know, but just to get away from that, and you know, my camera was right there. I could grab it, and then I'd go do a walk to get my mind off of all that crap. You know, it's just no good.
Papa, look at this. I got a new toy.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing? Yeah, maple seeds. That's it.
Papa, look. I got a new toy.
Oh, he's playing with them now. He's throwing them at the ceiling. We got to go for our walk tonight, though. We usually take a nice walk.
Papa, when we were at the motel, I saw a lot of these.
You know, when I
Like there
left,
were different colors.
I forgot my rattan stick, and I can't. I found some online.
I'll show you your stick.
One thing, it's out again. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, guys. I had a straight rattan stick, but when I used to coon hunt and fox hunt, one of the things you do is have a cane with the hook on it. Because when you're climbing up and down these river hills where the coons like to go, you could hold the cane at the bottom and hook it on a tree to help you get up the hill. You know, so I always was one, and they have them here, and they're great to hook some butthole's leg too if you need to. But I did get a walking stick. I got a Cold Steel, and I'll carry that. That's good for the dogs too, if I need it. I also got a Bushman that I can attach to the bottom. I'll make sure it fits real good. I'm going to buy one of those little things I can screw into the shaft, and it's got the little spring and the ball in there, so I could snap it in place. A little plunger. It's actually not a ball. It's like a cylinder. And then that'll pop up, and that'll lock the knife
Did
on
you
it.
show
'Cause
them the stick?
there's a lot of big dogs. You don't see dogs running around here, though. I have yet to see a dog without an owner. I've not seen one single stray dog anywhere. And what did we notice about the dogs, Maddie, when you pet them?
Big.
Yeah, what else?
Fuzzy.
Yeah, but what else? There was something else you just told me yesterday. Come here. They don't stink.
They don't.
You pet a dog in the Philippines, and they don't want to be petted because nobody ever pets them. Your hand will stink for a week. You can't wash that oil off. They've never been bathed. They've never been taken care of.
Papa,
Not all of them.
Papa, how if you throw them like this?
Try it.
No, but it's broken already.
That's okay.
I'm gonna go throw
But
them.
here, we've run into a bunch of puppy dogs, and people. I don't let them go up to them, but if they're, oh, come on, little buddy, you can pet him. And a big friendly, big old. One guy had a Mastiff and a Pit Bull mix. His name's Samson, and boy, did we like him. He's just a big old happy boy. He's got a little stub tail that goes a mile a minute. His whole body wags. He's big too. He's got to go 90 pounds anyway. And Maddie just loves to pet him and get slobbered on, but he's like, Daddy, don't stink.
Papa,
I'm like, yeah.
I'm gonna walk over there to the doggy.
Which doggy?
Over there.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my stinky. I'm gonna get my stinky first.
Well, Bams, it's it was going to be that she could make her decision and then come, but then all of a sudden, she'll be what I can see happening right now is she'll be poisoned against me. It's exactly what's going to happen, and I doubt her mother's ever going to let her go. It doesn't matter that she has the American passport and she's an American citizen. She's never going to let her go. It's a spite thing with her, and there's not much I can do about it now, but I would love to have her. I mean, if I have to get a 2-bedroom, fine. It's only like $150 more a month. It's not like a super big one. A little bit smaller bedrooms, but if that's what we need, I'll use one for storage. This stuff where they force you to do everything. Yes, I know they do. The other thing that used to get me, you talk about clogging stuff, was when I was young and I lived up here in Cleveland, the Canadian soldiers would come across the lake. Man, oh man, they would cover your window where you couldn't even see out. Well, Sal, you know something? In the Philippines, there are people but the one thing I really don't like here or the Philippines is where they can go into the malls now. They take them into restaurants and all that. And I guess that's great. The people who have dogs are loving it. But I was going through the store over here at the Marks, and this woman had two big, they looked like they were some sort of a pit bull Rottweiler mix. They had darker hair than any pit bull I ever seen, almost black and blotchy. So they've been bred, and these dogs were 80-pound dogs anyway. And they were going around slobbering on all the cans and in the aisleway and knocking. And she had them on a leash where it was one leash, but it was tying the dogs together. And when one would go to sniff something, they were just slobbering all over the cans and stuff. One of them actually had a can of green beans and had it in his mouth and was trying to chomp on it. And the lady did nothing about it. And it just got left on the floor. And I didn't want to go pick it up because it was slobbered on. And then you're buying that. So we take all of our cans when I get them home, and I wash the tops real good, tops and bottoms. One thing though, I haven't found yet, even at the Walmart. I've been to Walmart, and I've been to the grocery stores. Can't find a regular can opener. I'm still using my John Wayne.
Big fluffy dog.
Yeah, you like dogs, don't you?
I like if I throw them both.
You can have dogs here. They're $50 a month more on your rent. And, down the road, I'd like to have him have a dog. Just finding a good one. But I always had a dog. I always had dogs. I always had a lot of dogs, and they are your man's best friend. Even ones that are friendly and all that stuff. When the proverbial poop hits the rotating blades, they'll come to bat for you. Even Shaky, she would get in there and her hair would stand up and start growling. So, well, Christopher, I want absolutely nothing with a cat. I'm not a cat person. I would not be a good caretaker of a cat because I'm not a cat guy. I don't want one. I don't want anyone to give me one. I don't want anything to do with the cat. I just don't. My first wife had them, and damn thing would go in there and lick the butter. Even if I had a big thing over the top, I always lick the butter. it would take shits behind the couch. It just did mean stuff. One time when my daughter was a toddler, she was running across the room in the living room in front of the TV, and the cat chased her and dug its claws in and just cut her wide open. And of course, she got big red inflamed around there. We cleaned it up real quick, and I told her, "You get rid of this damn cat, or I will." And I ain't giving it to nobody, believe me. And it did it again, not even a month later. And my first wife was shocked. No, I can't do that. No.
You showed him this.
Oh, that's his little. I
Find
got this for
out.
my son. It was like $14.
Yeah, 14
And-
bucks.
Oh,
You gotta turn
turn
it.
it on. I can't get my finger in there. All right, shake it and watch.
It's
You can throw it.
live.
Oh yeah. Kind of loud. But it's a pretty cool toy.
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Yeah,
so
I'm
you
not a
can
cat
hear
guy. Though.
live.
I like dogs.
I don't like cats either.
Yeah, you know, I did see this. I did see this. The dog was walking down the store with the diaper on, and a big pancake fell out. Now that lady, I got to give her credit. She went over there and she picked it up with a paper towel, and she put it in a plastic bag and put it in her purse, which I thought that's how it's supposed to be. But there was still a smear on on the floor. She didn't like that up. So, but if I go to a restaurant and I see dogs in there, I just don't want to eat there. Sorry, I just don't want to eat there. I'd like to see a sign on the front of some restaurants that said you can't bring your dog in here. I'll go eat there.
Did you show them my hat too, Papa?
Yeah, but honestly, guys, cats aren't my bag. Yeah, show me your nice new hat. He picked the hat out at the store, and I really like it. And he likes it. He wears it. Yeah, that's his style, and it fits him. It fits him really good. You got to take care of that one, right? What are you picking off? Wait.
I thought this could come
No,
off.
don't start picking on it. It's going to be a rat hat. Oh yeah. It fits
Ta-da!
me real good. I wear this all the time.
Where?
But he got to pick that out of all the hats in the store, and they had quite a selection. And he
This
picked
is
that
the
one.
only one that fit me.
Well, that's the one you went to first, though. You liked it, didn't you? But they had all the sizes and stuff. Good job. I told you. Just watch the distance. See, you got to stop it by the ball. He's putting right now,
Wait.
but
This looks a little flat, but it's just going under the carpet.
yeah, it's not flat. I checked them this morning. We bought a bicycle pump for the tires.
Oh no!
We got it, and the tires were good. I got a tire pressure gauge, and we got it. And then we were riding it, and I hit a bump on the sidewalk, and it went right to the frame, and I was, oh man, I hope I don't get a pinch flat. And we were going to Walmart anyway, and I was right by the Parkway, so I took the Parkway up and just rode the streets the rest of the way. I wouldn't hit bumps, and I went and bought a real good pump with the gauge on it. And we pumped them. They were down to like 20 pounds. So it's probably the valve. I don't have a valve tool.
The back tire wasn't even 20.
Yeah, the back tire was a little lower, I know.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't so noticeable because you're in the back, not me.
But if you were in the back and I was in the front, you would.
Oh yeah. I think the back one had like 14 pounds or something.
No!
Christopher, I'm looking at used cars, and it's, I don't know. I am talking with a Nissan dealer right now about the Versa and trying to get the one that has the stick shift in it. They're like 16, 17,000. I got a hold of my bank, got a credit card, it's on the way. And they also do loans where they'll send you the check up to whatever amount you're going to borrow. You have to go to the dealer and get the paperwork. Then I actually said, you can just send it straight to me if it's easier for you, because you don't have a computer and you can't hardly any access to one. So she says, you could just take a good picture of it and you send that to me, and we'll put that in there and get it like an invoice, and we'll make the check out for that amount, and the dealer's name is going to be on the check. And I said, great, that's what I want. So we might get that, but the guy's wanting money down just to get it. They're really hard to find the Versa. I sat in a Versa that had the steel belt transmission. I want no part of that from any manufacturer. You know, just way too much maintenance, and they don't last that long. So, you know, he wants a couple thousand just to find one. You know, find it and get one into a shop. He said they're out there, but you know, I might have to call down to Florida or somewhere to get one shipped up here. And he says, you know, you got to give me a couple thousand. It'll go towards the price of the car, but I'm not lifting a finger until you do that. So, and I don't have anywhere near 2,000. I've got 900 right now. So. Let's see, my chiropractor like to keep in your pocket. Oh, I don't know. I wish I had a chiropractor. James. Yeah, I've never had any problem with my skin my whole life. Maddie's dark. He's dark skinned. He doesn't have anything. We'll keep an eye on it. And I did see plenty of Cornhuskers lotion, but I don't like to put chemicals on my body. I was always a big advocate of no sunscreen. That's the most deadly poison you can put on your body. Your largest organ is your skin, and it will soak in that crap, and you're just poisoning yourself. You're meant to be in the sun. You know, if you're light skinned and you burn quick, then just don't go in the sun so
I'm gonna
much.
tell you something.
What's that? You don't have to whisper.
I saw a guy that has his pants down and I saw his underwear.
Yeah, I know. We've got a few of them around here where their pants are like almost down to the bottom of their butt crack with their boxer shorts hanging out. I just think that's so funny.
Careful.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes though, Paulie.
This could be my golfing hat.
Yeah, that could be a good hat. Good hat to golf. So,
Keeps my-
well, I'll tell you what, guys, it's getting to be 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Glad all you guys stopped in.
Bye bye.
Oh, yeah, there you are. You happy boy now? No. You're my goofy guy, huh? Yeah, he's being such a blessing. Absolutely. His whole life just got changed. Be careful of that cord, I said. It's been a blessing. There's no reason to whack him. He's really doing nothing wrong. I gotta talk to him sometimes about picking up. I'll find a pair of socks over here. We got a hamper. Everything goes back in its place, or we can't find it. So he's
Like
learning
my
now.
wallet.
Yeah, like your wallet. We got a place for his wallet. He has to carry that every day. It's got his insurance card in it, and it's got a note if something happened to me. Call my brother first, and then they'll take care of it and call my daughter, and she can come get him, because I don't trust anybody with him, and I don't want him going into the system here in the state of Ohio. So if something happened to me, that's in his wallet, and he needs to carry that every day. So
Did you?
yeah, I understand, Paulie. I understand, but
Did you see
I
my,
think
my
we'll-
magic ball?
you know, I never had problems with it before. We'll keep our eye on what to do, and I have plenty of mineral oil
Bye
if we
bye.
need to hydrate the skin or anything like that. So. Well, I'll tell you what there, Dennis, I've gone since I've been here looking at used cars, and you're basically buying junk. For anything under 5,000 is basically junk. I saw a beautiful old Lincoln. They had pictures of it. Wasn't too far. I took the bicycle when Maddie was in school, and I got there. The guy went like 15,000 for this thing. And when I crawled in our lease, it took me about 2 seconds. The whole back of the frame was gone behind the wheels. The sheet metal was perfect. Frame was gone. And that's what happens to those. So, you know, because they got no
Bye-bye.
gas tank in there, and, you know, the gas tank's up behind the
Papa,
seat
can I
on
fly
those.
this now?
Yeah, and so I'm starting to look at these older cars like, you know, I don't want to be a mechanic anymore. You know, if I buy the cheapest car I can find online anywhere is the Nissan Versa. It's between 16,000 and 17,000, and I fit in it. They had one with the stupid transmission, the auto, what they call an automatic. It's a belt drive, steel belt, and I sat in it. I'm fine. The little cars aren't tight like they used to be. You know, they're making them with a lot more room inside, and I fit a little bit. My leg room was a little bit cramped, but you know, I was even trying, like there was a clutch pedal there, moving my leg up and down, doing it, no problem. I would have no problem with it. And getting to the brakes and all that, you know, I had about that much room though, you know, and that was with the seat all the way back, and it's a nice little car, and it's new. You know, I would take it down and get it rust proofed right off the bat, undercoated and all that kind of stuff, and just run it till the wheel falls off. You know, I would like to have a bigger one, but cars are too expensive for me right now. All right, Christopher. Yeah, Paul, he is absolutely 100% not the same kid anymore. He's a whole different one. All right, Dennis. Yeah, I always used the vinegar. What I like to do in the wintertime is I put the stove on simmer, and I fill up the pot with, you know, I always use distilled water instead of all the calcium getting stuck to the pot. Put it in a stainless pot, dump some cloves, powdered cloves in there, dump some cinnamon in there, and if you can find some potpourri, and just let it simmer, and it makes the house smell good, and you're getting the moisture in. Now we got electric heat here. It's paid for by the apartment complex. All we do is kick in $20 on the rent. That's what they say for utility. So we've got electric heat. Lived here before. We were never cold. So, you know, we're looking how the winter goes. We'll see what happens. I got to get some drapes in here before winter. They do got double pane windows now, so, and nice ones, vinyl clad. So we need to get some drapes that come down below the window a little bit. That's going to be a payday or two down the road. You know, I'm watching what I spend now, because we have the move of the furniture is going to cost me between $600 and $800. That's going to, you know, it's just going to take the money I got for now. So we're thinking the car is just going to be a while. All right, Barb, maybe you. Yeah, I had one in my house too when I had the new furnace put in Pennsylvania. I put a humidifier in. Got to keep them clean though. All right, Ken. Yeah, we're going for a walk. Let me read through these and then I'm going to go. Yeah, you can get huge money for old cars now. Hey, there you are, Shawnee. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Thanks for everybody joining in. It's always nice to yak. In the Philippines, I like the lives because I was able to talk to Americans. But now I'm here. I still want to keep it going. I want to keep the channel. Don't forget, we're going to be switching over to Expat Returns. I already got a channel opened, and as soon as I get a laptop, I'm going to switch over, and then they're supposed to give me the $3,000+ It's going to they will not transfer it over from my account. I have the accounts linked. As soon as I close this channel, and I hate to close it, but I have to close it, then they're going to send the money to the new channel, even though I'm not monetized yet, because they owe me the money. It's over $3,000 now. So, you know, I was doing for many, many months in a row. I was doing about 100 a month, and they've never given me a dime, and I've been running this channel almost, 4.5 years or something. Thank you, Paulie. Happy Sunday, yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping to find one of them, the old Lodge Sportsman's Grill. You know, that's the one I want. The new one I don't want. The old one had a door in it, so you could put more wood in there, whatever you want to use, or without taking the food off. You know, taking a grate off to put your hickory if you want to smoke it a little bit, or apple wood or whatever. Apple wood's great on chicken, by the way, guys. It's the best one. Everybody thinks the chicken ain't done though, because it kind of gives it a pinkish hue, but it's done. Trust me. But the new one, it's just like a hibachi bowl. You got to take the grate off. They made a mistake when they got rid of that one. Link to your other channel, please, Todd. I'll have to. I can't go away from this right now, or I'm going to lose everybody. So I'll have to maybe go on Messenger or something like that, or Facebook. It's Rickshaw Philippines 82885 @gmail. That's my email. If you want to hit me there, I'll take a picture of the link and just send it to you. That would be the easiest way. Next time I do a vlog, I'll start putting that at the end. I'll take a picture of that screenshot, and I'll start putting that at the end of my thing, so you guys all know. And then when the one channel, this channel's going to go down, it has to, for me to get the money, because $3,000 is a heck of a lot. That would get me the down on the Versa. And if this, I want it to happen soon, but I don't want to do the new channel with this phone. It's too much of a headache. I can plug this camera into the neighbor's laptop and load it all in just 10, 12 seconds. I tried to do it on the phone. The phone's not fast enough to do it. It has to be the laptop, and she's got a real nice one. And 10, 12 seconds, it was loaded. And then all she did was send it to me. She sent it in a packet, and she called it a packet. Sent it to my phone, and then I did my editing, but then it still took. I didn't want to go bother and say, hey, can you upload this to YouTube? I didn't want to give her all the information on that, but I probably could have, but I didn't want to bug her. She's just a real nice girl, and I don't want to, impose on them or anything like that. So you guys take care, and this is Rickshaw out.
A party